Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's my favorite time. Is this more intro music? I'm not sure what's going on, but right here, we are back for Access Vegas. You guys know we do this every other Thursday because Rollo doesn't live here. That's the reason why we don't do it every other Thursday. And at some point, we will start doing this every Thursday. So we're going to start with introducing our panel for today. She's coming to us. She is a bartender. She is a sex phone operator and a kink specialist. Please welcome Electra Barbie. How you doing, Electra?
Hi, you guys. Thank you.
Beautiful. She is a cocktail server and an OnlyFans content creator. It is Miss Kaylin Marie. How you doing, Kaylin?
Hello, Graham.
Nice. She is a real estate investor and e-commerce investor. She's also one of the biggest OF content creators on the planet. It is Savannah Storm. How you doing, Savannah?
Hi, how are you?
We'll get to that in a little bit, okay? We've already been demonetized. Beautiful.
And
canceled. She runs a talent agency. She has just recently did a shoot for Playboy Australia. This is Sarah. How you doing, Sarah?
Good, thank you.
Nice to have you. Awesome. And then she is a second lieutenant in the United States Army. She has a master's in business administration and owns a company in recruiting and staffing. Please welcome Second Lieutenant Amanda Charlesworth. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And it's Amy.
Amy. I'm sorry, what did I say?
Amanda. Off to a good start here.
And she corrected you.
Time up. Put him in his
She's
place.
a stripper and she's a dominatrix. Please welcome Miss Santana. How you doing, Santana?
No complaints over here.
No complaint. I think we lost your audio. Is her microphone on?
I hear.
I hear.
Okay, nice. Okay,
I'm
nice.
talking into the
Hi.
And she is
There we
also a world famous Canadian model, and she also has her master's degree in international business. This is Katie Moore. How you doing, Katie?
I'm doing great, thank
Specializes in electrical tape.
Okay,
Something like that.
What were you guys telling me about ASMR? You guys do ASMR? You too? What do you do?
I don't
Savannah?
do it, but I would
Yeah,
love.
Savannah.
So I have this. I'm known for dominatrix, you
Okay.
know. So yeah, I like to get dressed up in latex and put on that strap on and just like bend you over and fuck you.
Cancel. That's going to be the end of the show. Thank you guys for joining us this week.
Run the outro.
I think that's going to do it. All right. Rollo, you had like 50 things you wanted to go over.
Oh
this
man!
week.
Well, first off, let's do a little bookkeeping here. If you have not subscribed to the new Access Vegas channel, please do so. It is the first link in, or actually, I should say, the second link down, or third link down in the description that you'll see right there. Where we need to build that up so we can actually defer over to that channel at some point. So if you wouldn't be so kind, go check that out. Also, Men of Action, you can pick up the link is right there, courtesy of my good friend,
Yes,
Captain Michael Sartain.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, man, check out MOAmentoring.com. Use his link.
Yeah,
his link is in the caption.
You'll see it. Right.
And you guys can learn a ton of stuff from
Right.
that. What else do we got going on?
And then let's see. Do we have anything else going on? We just got back where were we?
Okay, so we were in Miami, and I was just talking to my guys. We have done 13. I've done 13 shows or podcasts in the last 11 days.
Yeah.
I've lost my freaking mind, and we did 3 episodes of Fresh and Fit. We did Jedediah Bila, we did Adam Sosnick, then I did my free show. I did 4 of my MO8 calls, and then I did had Adam Sosnick on my show, and then last night my interview with Pearl, and then this.
And let's not forget, all before that, we were in Santa Barbara doing the Whatever podcast, which was we kind of put off this is the only show of May that we've done. This is the very first and the only show we've done in May. And it is Memorial Day weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada, and all of the hotels are booked.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, what topics did you have?
Okay, well, first off, when we were on, we were doing a debate with a certain Destiny and Sneeko, which actually turned out to be a pretty good debate. I thought.
I was really impressed.
I hate even calling it a debate anymore because it's not really a debate. It's really just sort of a conversation. Like, there's disagreements, of course, but I mean, it's not a formal debate per se. But during the conversation, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but the impression I was left with from Destiny was that it doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what your money situation is. It's just that you make an effort and you go and put yourself out there. So my first question for the ladies today is, do you use Tinder? Are you single? Maybe we should go around. Like, if you could give us your dating status. If you want to give us your age, that's fine too. But age, dating status, and
we already gave their occupation.
Occupation's already there. So age and dating status.
Okay, so I am 36 years old, and I am currently single, not on any dating apps at all.
Okay, so you don't use dating apps whatsoever?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm 33 and I am dating.
Oh, you are?
I am, yeah.
One guy, or are you just like non-exclusive, let's just say?
One guy.
One guy, okay.
I'm 22. I do not use dating apps, and I'm seeing a couple of guys.
So let's leave it at non-exclusive.
But I do like one in particular. It's
Okay.
just that, I like to keep my toes in the pond.
Yeah, keep your options open.
Exactly.
All right, and your powder dry. Got it. The Katie Moore, are you dating?
I am single.
Yeah.
And
Are you on Tinder?
I have been.
Are you on Bumble? Are you on Hinge? What are you on?
I have Tinder, but I don't ever check it. Like the profile exists, but I haven't used it in a long time.
And what was your day job once again?
So, I used to work in insurance and recently got laid off, but it's fine.
But you're not like a bottle girl. You don't work at Tower or anything like
No,
that.
no. I've worked in the industry before, but not at the moment.
Okay, so you don't work like in nightlife or anything like that.
No,
So,
not at the moment.
So, because that's almost like a dating app if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending. And I already know what you do for a living, but age and are you dating and are you single?
I've been single 7 years, so I am on Bumble, and I am 37 years old.
Do you like Bumble better than? Have you tried other ones?
I have.
Yeah,
I have.
Bumble because it allows you to have more control.
Well, here's the thing. I've
'Cause
been
you're
on
the
it.
dominatrix,
I've been
right?
on it for 7 years, and Bumble was one of the first ones to incorporate video calls. And so one of my first moves would do is I got to see what this motherfucker looks like in front of me. So first thing I do is, are you going to answer my call? When I call, and then if they do, then I talk to them.
Yeah, but what if he's in bed with the other girl that he just met on Bumble?
I mean,
How's he going to do that
Is
if
she
he's
hot?
got another
And
girl?
is she hot? And does she like girls too?
That's what, again,
So-
a great, you know what? That was the counter to my thing. I cannot respond to that. That is the correct answer, actually. Yeah.
Hello, I'm 30. I'm single, and no, I do not use Tinder. I kind of just find them. All I got to do is walk in and get the eye, and then it's on. So, yeah.
And where do you? Wait,
hold on. They give you the eye, or you give them the eye?
They give me the eye, and I'm like, I like it. Then I pass.
So you know immediately. That's the thing you're saying.
Immediately. I'm like,
Okay, well, I'm going to ask a question right after we get to Savannah. Go ahead, Sav.
So I'm ageless and I'm single.
Timeless.
Oh.
Classic. Yes.
We just level up in life.
Yes, always leveling up. And I definitely am not dating. It's so hard. It's so time consuming, and I like to put my time into making money. So.
But you don't use any dating apps or anything like
No,
that? You're not Tinder?
never. They creep me out.
How many people have OnlyFans?
Oh,
Here?
I do.
1, 2.
For sure.
When I want.
Katie, my gosh.
Okay, so five of you have
I
it.
asked you what you did for a living. You know.
My living.
So
It's a hobby.
Okay.
do you see
hobby.
do you see OnlyFans as like sort of a dating opportunity?
No. Sorry.
No?
Isn't that funny? Like it is, but that's the part of this.
I
that,
always
like,
wanted to ask that. Like, no?
No, I do know a few girls who have actually met the guy that they're dating off OnlyFans. Yes, I'll you know one of them too. I'll tell you about it.
I do. I'm shocked.
Yeah, so they one of these girls I know, she started getting messages from this poker player, and like eventually they.
I bet I know him too.
They message, yeah, right? They
bet
message. It's in Atlanta, and they message each other, and then they met in person, and then they started dating. But she met him. She met him from OF. Yeah, I've
Wow.
a couple of times. The majority of times, it's not that way. The other thing about OnlyFans is you have 1 million content creators. You have 50 million men on the platform. 50 million people on the platform buying content, and 1 million producing content.
Damn, is
So,
that how many?
Yeah, that's about the way it works. It's over. I want to say 3 billion is what they did in revenue. I could be wrong. It
But
could be more than that.
Jesus.
The top 0% is not that many.
And I'm very curious, like what the income per month is once you hit the top 1%, and then
It's
when
definitely over 6 digits for sure.
for the top 1%, it may be.
No. In the
top
0.0, in the 0.009 and under is definitely 6 digits a month.
We'd have to look up stats. And now here, you're right, Sav. Here, I know at least maybe 10 or 20 girls that are doing over six figures a month.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's pretty common.
But 1% and under, it really depends because I can tell you because I've kept track of all my numbers going from 1% down.
Yeah.
And if under 1%, if you're at like 0.4, that's only like $25,000 a month.
Okay, got it.
So you really where you start to see the money is when you get to 0.1%, and then 0.1% is 50,000, and then right underneath that when you hit the 0.0 is 70,000 and above.
Got it.
So I've kept track of all of my numbers.
Are any of you using Instagram in a dating capacity? Instagram is supposed to be is arguably the number one dating app in the world right now. But like, have you ever gone out with a guy who kind of slid into your DMs?
Katie,
I think that's kind of creepy.
Oh, talk about Katie. You've never talked to a dude you met on Instagram.
I met my ex-boyfriend.
Like in person?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
So every guy you dated, Instagram had no place in it at all. I'm actually really surprised to hear this.
No.
Even as much as you travel, really.
Yeah. Most people that I've gone on dates with or have been dating are people that I meet through other people.
Okay, got it. All right, awesome. Amy, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, the guys that reach out through Instagram, they're almost always creepers. Like, they're not like when you go to their Instagram, they're not like normal looking dudes.
So the thing is, Amy, most
When they
men
reach
are
out,
creepers.
send them their OnlyFans link.
I don't have OnlyFans. I'm not in that scene. So I mean, I don't know.
I like what you said. Like they don't look like normal looking dudes.
Yeah, they don't
Like,
even look normal. Like they're like, it's like fake profiles. You know, guys you would never talk to. I mean, it's so like I don't think it's been so rare I've ever had a guy message me on Instagram that is even someone I would even consider.
Right. So, but just like out of the blue, kind of like they just slid into your DMs
Yeah.
and started talking to you like they knew you, like they're your
Yeah.
long lost brother.
A lot of the time, it's like,
Yeah.
I want to spoil you. And then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, pay me. Here's
Yes.
So
I've fallen
Here's my
victim.
cash app. Yes.
So here's the
anybody wait, before
Go ahead.
anybody else though, like as far
I
as
have.
Instagram.
I've dated 2 guys off of Instagram.
Because I threw out Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, but like also there's Instagram too. So
I like it because I'm like, you get to see, you know, their lifestyle. You get to see what they post. You kind of get to see a little bit more of their personality. You get to see what they're into. You know, you can kind of stalk them for a little bit and see how they live their life a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I met my ex-boyfriend off Instagram. You know, he's
you have an ex now.
I have a roster.
We're gonna save that because I really want to come back to that. But nobody else as far as Instagram is. Now, do you use Instagram to do like what she said, like background checks on a guy?
Well, my ex-boyfriend is a sub that I had from Dominatrix.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Were you into that, like because he was sub, or like?
Well,
what did you
I
want to
didn't
get
know
with him?
I didn't know from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
It was like 6 months in, and I came home, and he was wearing one of my skirts with a pacifier in his mouth, and I was like, "Oh,
I really want to
so
start a
we're
relationship with you."
I was like, "Oh, so we're doing this, okay?" And it honestly creeped me out only because like he wasn't honest, communication wise with me. I mean, maybe if he would have said like, "Yeah, I'm into this," I don't know.
Did you
Maybe
stay with him after that? And are you
For
with
a
him
little
now? Is he one of the
bit,
two you mentioned?
No,
Okay.
no.
Out of the picture.
I honestly,
Got it.
well, he has a lot of other issues, but yeah, he was.
Oh, really?
there's a lot more there, but I work for an actual like dominatrix company too, so I film with them. I just got done filming with them today for like 8 hours, so I'm like fucking
That's a lot of work,
exhausted.
man.
Wow.
8 hours.
Yeah, my right.
That's like a regular
foot really
40-hour week
hurts.
job, man.
I kicked some guy in the nuts for like 30 minutes, but I can't feel my right
You
foot.
kept kicking him over and over again in the nuts.
It's
Okay.
fun.
yeah.
It's
Can we-
therapeutic.
Yes,
what do you want
I
me
do
to
this
say?
for a living.
Let's describe.
I just
hold on.
work here.
Speaking
I
of,
just work.
These
speaking of, we
shows.
need our videos.
Yeah, me and her actually have videos together. I actually taught her how to beat my slave.
That's incredible. Lindsay Centeno, give me 1 second. Hold on. Guys, so we're describing something like a socioeconomic thing. We have men who are not being either taught because of their phone. We can show you the statistics where at 2008, once there's the Facebook app on the iPhone, the number of men that are sexless just skyrockets. It doubles, right? Okay? So that's the first thing that happens. And then you have these men, so they don't know how to talk to women. And so what they do is they all become those creepy Indian men who are like, show me Bob's and Vagine. But like all of them are becoming that guy, right? Or like a good number of them. So she said, you don't talk to guys on Instagram because they come off as creepy. Most men come off as creepy. That's the thing. Like, you don't believe me? Let's go to Walmart after this. Let's walk around Walmart and then watch what happens. You're gonna
CVS is closer.
Exactly. You guys are. You guys
I'm not going to
and
Walmart.
ask yourself again, who's fucking these men? And you're like, oh, no one is. Okay, now I get it. So now we have that situation. Now, what she said, it's really funny because there was like this cascade of things that happened. Because then she said, I give them my OnlyFans link, right? And you were like, oh, that's foreign to me. But look what she's done. She's taken this creepiness energy and she's now transmuting it into money. You guys see what's going on? Now, the ladies are saying, I love it. There's guys out there who are watching this right now. They're like, haram, this is fucking terrible.
They're promiscuous women.
They're promiscuous women. I can't believe they're doing this. So, for all of you guys who are wondering, and for those of you who watch the Wednesday show of
Don't simp for them.
the guys who watch the Wednesday show of Fresh and Fit, you guys remember Stephanie Palomares was getting dunked on by the chat the entire show.
Yep.
And I asked Stephanie Palomares, I said, Stephanie, before the show, I need you to screenshot how many OnlyFans subscribers you have. And then afterwards, I need you to tell me how many you have 24 hours later.
Should we all do that right now?
Yes. I think,
Yes.
I already did it.
I think all of you should do that. Now, here's what happened. I've never seen a girl get dunked on more than this girl on Fresh and Fit ever. Like the whole chat was just on her the entire time. She got 1,200 paying subs in 24 hours. Guys, hold on. For those of you who can't do math because you went to public school, that's $12,000 a month. That's $144,000 a year for sitting there for 2.5 hours getting dunked on by the chat. And she wrote me later and she was like, yeah, it's totally worth it. I would do it again. That's what she told me. So I just want you guys to understand. We got one more here. Can we put up a thing for Morgan? Okay, awesome. Morgan Hollum is joining us.
Hey.
All right, just so you guys understand, this is what I'm seeing because I'm trying to be objective here. I am seeing women say delusional things about the men they're attracted to on this show, and then I see men calling them 304s, and then I see these same women ending up with thousands of new Instagram or OnlyFans subs. So you guys in the chat, instead of coming after me and Rolo, you need to be coming after other dudes in the chat and asking which one of you motherfuckers is sitting there saying this shit and then subbing to these girls. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with subbing to these girls. What I am saying is there's something wrong with calling them whores and then subbing to their OnlyFans. That's something that is fucked up. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, they can call me a whore and sub all day long. Come sub, daddy.
Fucking madness.
He doesn't deserve daddy at that point.
Yeah, I'm like, what? No daddy after that.
Morgan. No, hold on.
What are we calling you?
What are we calling you
What
today?
are we calling you this episode?
Lord.
For her third time.
Allison Summers.
Allison Summers. All right, beautiful.
Ooh, I like
The
it.
bionic woman.
We need it. Well, we're going to get you a microphone here at some point. All right, awesome. Let's keep it going. All right, so that was the first thing. The second thing I wanted to ask you guys, because this was an issue that there's something that I have heard women say, but I don't know necessarily that I agree with exactly the description I'm hearing. Now, what I hear women say is, I know I'm going to sleep with a guy very quickly after I meet him. And what I have actually, when I suss it out and I ask some more questions, what I found instead is I know if I'm not going to sleep with a guy 30 seconds after I meet him. Whether or not you're going to sleep with him comes later, whether or not he talks about stupid shit, has bad teeth, bad breath, or just starts saying crazy stuff. I'm curious I'm curious what you guys think about this individual. I want to ask the 8 of you. Katie, do you believe that you know whether or not you're going to sleep with a guy within the first 30 seconds? Or do you think you just know if you're not going to? Like, where does the determination come from?
I think I know if I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because, always the initial point of attraction is your looks, right? So the immediate attraction.
Wait, sorry. Say that again really loud into the mic.
The initial point of attraction is the way you look.
What? Really?
Oh my gosh.
Continue.
Wait, what was that? Destiny's in the chat? What was that?
What was that? Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Continue.
And then after you get to know somebody, because you could not be initially attracted to somebody, and then you get to know them a little bit more, and then their personality makes them more attractive to you. Right? But somebody that you're going to sleep with, you're probably going to look at that guy and be like, oh my God, he's hot. But he could also open his mouth and be a complete dickhead.
Okay, so this is the thing I want men to understand, okay? I've been doing this for 15 years now. I've been coaching men on different type of things, entrepreneurship, leadership. But when it comes to dating, this is the analogy I want to give you. For women, when you're a man and you start qualifying yourself, it's the same thing than if you go down on a girl and find a penis. That's how they feel. They're going down there like, yeah, I'm super excited. What the fuck is this?
What is this?
That's what it's like for women when you're sitting there and you're doing what they call in pickup DHV, where you brag about yourself.
Demonstrating higher value.
That is a huge mistake that pickup artists try to teach people, because one of the things that happened is, number one, you're qualifying yourself. And number two, there's this fucking lie that pickup has been teaching for the last 20 years. And the lie goes like this. Women sleep with you because of your intent. No, they don't. Every woman in here knows you want to fuck them. They knew you wanted to fuck them when they woke up in the morning.
But I think it's
women,
important.
hold on, time out. They do not sleep with you because of your intent. They sleep with you because of your perceived status in their eyes. That is why they have sex with you, not because of your intent. Women, you guys all know men will have sex with you. But if you're attracted to them, that's what causes you to have sex with them. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Anyway, go ahead, Amy.
I was just going to say, but it's also the woman's decision, too. Like, what's to say that, when I meet a guy, I'm not equally like, I'm going to fuck that guy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I understand, but what the question was, when would you know? Would you know immediately?
Immediately.
So you would know immediately?
Immediately,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
That's hot.
Santana.
Did you forget my name for a second?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
He called me Amanda
That's
earlier.
fine.
But Amy, I thought Amy was short for
Amy
Amanda.
Amanda, same thing.
Again, it's Lieutenant Amanda sounds more official. Go ahead, Santana.
Yeah, I would pretty much know immediately, but honestly, in order for me to like get off and have a good time, I'd have to have like some sort of emotional connection to it.
What I'm saying is, so have you seen a guy where you immediately know you would have sex with him, and then he does something to fuck it up?
Yeah. Oh my God, 100%.
Drop the ball.
And it sucks. I'm like, damn, you're fucking hot, but.
Okay, so let me ask you
Yeah.
something. As a percent for the first two, as a percentage, what percentage of men do you meet on a regular basis that would fit that criteria? Is less than 1%?
That fuck it up?
No, that you're attractive and that are attractive enough to you to where you know immediately you would have sex with them.
Damn, you want us to give you a percentage?
Yeah.
I'd have to like do some analysis.
Like because one of the things you have to do is like look at your own body count, right? If the number was 50% and like 50% of them fucked it up, that means 25% of men you ever met you'd sleep with.
Well, I also take into consideration like I could go home and use my vibrator, and I know how to please myself.
Okay, so do you understand the problem with what you're
too.
saying though? What you said was in the beginning, you meet a guy and you know you would have sex with him, and now things like being turned on by something else or whatever TV show is on, that causes you to not want to have sex with a guy. Do you understand? When men are like, I would have sex with that girl, that doesn't mean I would have sex with that girl unless, I hurt my ankle or it was a Mercury was in fucking retrograde.
Most of
if
the
we want to fuck, we go fuck.
Most of the time, it's not worth it.
Okay, so it's not worth it. So do you see that's, so you're qualifying the question that I had
Or
initially.
they don't last.
Yeah, most of the time, it's not worth it.
Okay.
It's like, I get
Hey,
horny
George, I
for
can
a
still
second. I'm
barely
like,
hear.
ooh,
Yeah,
that would
sorry.
be nice, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's really not worth it. It's not worth the body count.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Amy, you said before you would immediately know. So it's not a function of you would know if you wouldn't have sex with them. Have you ever, but also, we're going to ask you this, guys. Have you met someone where you thought I wouldn't have sex with them and then changed your mind and thought that you would?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Now this question has become so androgynous that I don't even know how the fuck this works. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in terms of knowing right away, I think the chemistry piece really ramps up. I mean, like if you're connecting with someone, you kind of figure it out within the immediate minute or two that you're with them.
So you think you can find chemistry in the first 60 seconds?
Yeah, I think you can.
There's definitely there's definitely guys where I walk up to them, and I'm like, oh shit, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah, and I don't want a guy that's like fucking stupid. Like there's so many
When I was
hot guys
single.
that are so unintelligent. I'm like, oh my
can
god.
be
Okay, while you
Human
may while you
dildo.
say
You know
while you may say this, Savannah, I am aware of your dating history, and you did complain to me about a really good-looking guy you were dating who was very stupid. Do you remember this?
No, I never dated him. We've been friends on and off for many years. As you know, he was a host at a.
Don't say where.
I'm
Yeah.
not. Okay, beautiful man. I mean, Sartain will agree. This is probably one of the best looking guys in Vegas, and turned me off. I mean. He had this nickname for me, and he just wouldn't stop calling me this. And I said, please just don't call me this anymore.
Puddin'.
So for years, he kept saying this nickname, and he's like, I'm thinking about you, and say this nickname. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I said, please don't call me this name. It makes my vagina dry. Like, that's not turning me on. And every time for like 10 years, he would randomly text me, hey, with the nickname. And I'm like, okay, you're not getting any pussy. Like, just stop. But, he's so good looking that, there's been a few times we've hung out as friends. I've had those 1942 nights, and I'm like, God, just don't talk, and we're so good.
I would love
Right?
so
That's all
much
I have
for
to do
Destiny to do a
sometimes.
reaction video to this. I would love so much.
Wide open.
Seriously, dude. Like, again, had
Here it
a
is.
great debate with him. I'm just like the things he was saying. I just like there's so I know it's anecdotal evidence. It's just so much fucking anecdotal evidence every time we do the
the reason
show.
I started this, when I started this out, was like, are you on on your dating apps? Period, and because you can construe like Instagram as a dating app, really, because it's background checks, or funnel marketing for women, depending on who you're talking about. But the reason why I'm asking is, so that leaves one last thing, which is, do you meet guys live in person that come up to you and say, hey, you look really hot. I saw you from across the room. Do you want to go out sometime? Like, is that how it works for you guys? Like, what was
Usually that's me.
what was your last approach situation?
Can we go ahead? Yeah, finish.
I approached the man.
You did.
Yes.
of the time.
I think I know who he is.
Yes, we all know who it is.
It's just my general go-to. There's no guessing work. Either
Do you feel like
it
you
or
have to?
don't.
Do you feel like you have to do that now? Like more guys don't.
Ali, can you
don't
move
approach?
a foot to your left?
Yeah, and come right up on top of that. There you go.
And that's why I love you. By the way,
you all don't have to move,
hey
just out.
girl.
It works for me because most of the time, men just aren't going to come up and talk to me unless you're complete.
Why is that?
Do
Morgan?
you approach them live or do you do it on like Instagram or on like dating apps?
I mean, I shoot my shots for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do get answered, so life is good, right? So, I'm not afraid to go up and talk to a man at a bar.
Can we finish this real quick? I'm curious. Let's do this. Let's finish it real quick. You're somebody coming. I'm sorry. You meet a dude. Do you know immediately whether or not you would have sex with him, or do you know immediately that you wouldn't have sex with him? Where do you sit, and how long does that usually take?
I would say yes and no. I talked to 2 guys this year. The first one, within 30 seconds, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Was it just a physical, like his
Was it
physique?
based on the way he
like,
looked?
what was the thing going on?
Like he was like,
He was just really fucking sexy. So I like walk up and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. As long as he doesn't say anything dumb. You know?
taller than you?
He was taller than me, maybe 5'10", 5'11". And then I stopped talking to him and I started talking to someone else.
Why'd you stop talking to him? This guy you had so much chemistry with.
He got a little boring, I guess. Like, he just didn't talk that much, so I just kind of lost interest. And then so I started talking to a new guy, sort of. He was like, really was laying it on thick, and I was like, not interested at first. And then I was like, wait, I really fucking like this guy.
But was he hotter than as hot as the other guy?
No, not at all. But he was really charming. So his personality grew on me. He was really fucking sweet. And then, like, after a month or so, he got really arrogant out of nowhere. And then
Read my book.
Yeah.
He read The Rational Male. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but he took it too far. I'm like all about like men that have confidence, but he took it to a whole another level. I'm like, ew, like we get it. Like you're hot. We see your selfies. Like maybe you should leave that to women. I don't know. Like, yeah. So I was really
you know
turned
or
off.
don't know how quick?
I would say probably, I don't know, give or take 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I'm a sapiosexual. I need mind stimulation.
Savannah, I don't think you're a sapiosexual. Like, I don't. I can't be honest with you.
I am.
I think. Okay, so I'm gonna express.
I like a good fuck.
Okay, listen.
too.
I'm going to express a concept to you that may agree with me or disagree with me. Just consider this concept. There's things that women like physiologically turn them on. Okay, make their vagina wet, and there's things that women find to be cute and comfortable. And what happens is when we ask women to describe what they're attracted to, they describe the cute and comfortable stuff, but they don't describe the fucking male stripper that they fucked in Cancun. They don't. The one that never called them back.
I do.
I know. Okay, you do. Like, that's correct. But do you guys understand? So that's why when you say you're sapiosexual, I think the guys you find, you find comfort in sapiosexual activity. I've seen your last boyfriend. And while he may be a PhD, I honestly don't know. He was also a male stripper, so I know better than to just believe that you're this is one of the differences.
That was a rare one. I have to tell you.
But you were with him forever. Like here's the thing. Listen, this is the point I'm trying to make. This is one of the things that makes this show different from Pearl's show, makes it different from whatever, it makes it different from Fresh and Fit, is I know all you guys. Like, when you guys start fronting, like, about, again, when CJ Sparks says, I don't date guys because I don't care what they look like, she's not fucking lying. I've seen the guys she dates. She's not lying about that. So when you guys come out here, like, Sav, I agree with you that you find it appealing when a guy's smart. I disagree with you that you're going to go out with a guy who's not physically attractive, who's smart, and then not fuck the male stripper because you will.
You know what? Maybe, that was a rare case. Sartain. I have to tell you, that was a rare case. And yes, I was with him for some years.
So you were with one guy who was a male stripper for years, and then another guy you kept sleeping with on and off who was a VIP host, but you're sapiosexual. Sav, come on, Sav.
Listen, I slept with the VIP host on and off for 10 years because that was comfort. Like it was comfort. I didn't always sleep with him though. There are so many more times we hung out and did not do anything because I just was so freaking annoyed. I was like, what am I doing here again? But I like beautiful men. I do. I like handsome men. I like older.
Okay, now I feel like you're telling the truth.
Yeah,
the sapiosexual thing.
But you have to categorize them then. Like some are just for fun, and maybe the last one, maybe he was supposed to be for fun, But then COVID and this and that was already, that caused trauma bonding. COVID in itself is traumatizing to the entire world.
I went through the same thing.
So
Yes, I'm aware.
When you're with someone 24 hours a day, all day, every day, you naturally become that codependent on each other. So that lasted maybe longer than it was supposed to.
Okay, so this is I'm just going to give you ladies the experience from what we experience as men when you guys tell us these stories. And I like using these examples because they're really clear to understand. There's Alex the accountant, and there's Brock the bartender. Okay, Alex the accountant I'm a sapiosexual. I like Alex the accountant because he's so smart. I like Alex the accountant because he opens my door. I like Alex the accountant because he calls me at a regular hour. He asks me on dates and he buys me flowers. Fuck Brock the bartender. What a piece of shit. And then we ask you, which one did you have sex with? And it's always, 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 always Brock.
I don't know. I would date the accountant. Yeah, I would date the accountant for sure.
I'm not saying you wouldn't. What I'm saying is at least, but the problem is, whenever I hear women obsessively complaining about a dude, I know she had sex with him. That's the part that's crazy. And the thing from when you guys say, I approve of this man's behavior because of something that he did, for men, women vote with their vaginas. When you guys say you like a thing, but you sleep with this other guy, all we're paying attention to as men is who you sleep with. So when you guys keep saying that these men are trash, and you guys keep saying that these men do all this bad shit, remember who you're sleeping with, and then understand that when you go on a date with a perfect gentleman, and you make him wait for sex, so that you can go back and have toxic sex with your ex, you're making the world 1% worse, because you are rewarding your ex's toxic behavior, and you are punishing...
Can I say something?
That toxic sex is just...
Okay.
That makes my pussy squirt.
Okay.
I'll take the accountant to the bartender at the bar,
ASMR
and
time.
I'll be like, you guys both know I'm a freak, so can we do this DP now or later?
Let's finish this.
Chat saying her mic is off, by the way.
No, it's not her mic. It's her mic. That's
hers.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I think Santana's mic is off. We're just getting echoes from the other two mics next door. Go ahead.
I haven't said anything, but it definitely does sound weird. It sounded weird since I started.
Okay, so let's try this again. How quickly do you know if you would have sex with someone?
Okay, so it's always different with me. Like, I can meet someone at the club and he has chemistry, makes me laugh, and I'm like, oh, fuck, we can go to the car
When
right
you
now.
say the club, you mean at the strip club?
Oh, no. Well,
nightclub.
I mean, no, when I'm at work, when I've stripped, I just could not meet someone at my work.
I'm so happy to hear the women saying this. I do not date dudes that I meet on my OnlyFans. Fellas, are you listening to this? And I would not date dudes that I meet at a strip club. There's so many guys brainwashing this
Just
way.
kidding. We do. Subscribe.
Yeah, sorry. Hilarious. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, like, if they're funny, it's like, oh, if they look good, it's like, okay. But if they look like they just got out of prison and they're, like, buff, oh, God, the toxicness right there. That's love.
I appreciate this honesty. I actually believe you. I 100% believe you.
God, I'm like, please, what'd you do? Oh, yeah, bad boy. Yeah, so
that's fine.
And then I also I dated a nerd before, too. I like that I could ask him questions and he knew everything. Like, I guess there's chemistry. I do have to get to know someone, but there has been. And I've also didn't like a bitch and fucked her man. So it's like, hey, there's always options. So, like.
So really funny. I keep mentioning this book to you guys. It is Why Women Have Sex by David Buss and Cindy Meston. All right, somebody has their phone on, and somebody you got to turn it off.
You're fired.
All right, so there's a book by David Buss and Cindy Meston. In one of the chapters, they actually go over exactly what you're talking about. They go over 237 reasons why women have sex with men. And one of the reasons, they talk about every time there's a new guy that comes, this girl was in a sorority. She goes, every time there was a new guy who came by, Becky would always fuck the new guy. And I was like, I'm going to go fuck the new guy this time, because fuck Becky. That's what she said, right? So sometimes that is the case. We would call that mate choice copying in evolutionary psychology, and in Red Pill, they would call that pre-selection. So that's a really good example of that. And let's go ahead here. Lindsay, when do you know?
Kind of a weird question for me, because if it depends on my mood. So if I'm out and about and I know I want to get laid, I'm going to search and scour the entire fucking place for the hottest motherfucker in there. And once I do, I walk up to him and be like, do you have a girlfriend? If he says no, I will proceed. I'll be like, you want to fuck? And if he says yes, I'll be like, let's go. I have done this before.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then in the walk or wherever we were going, they have talked themselves out of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. Second guess. Or change of plans, whatever. That's happened. But then there's times before where that's actually happened. And in my early 20s, I had this experience where I went into the strip club that I was cocktailing at on my night off. And I just decided to get wild, just drinking. And I met someone there. who was also a customer, but we hit it off. We were having fun. We were spending money on the girls and getting drunk. And then by the end of it, I said something. I was like, wait, do you even know my name? And he was like, no, you won't tell me. And I'm like, perfect. I don't know yours either. I'm like, you want to just go and do this? And he was not cute, by the way. We just had
That was my next question.
We just had a great time together.
Okay.
So we left. We had fun. And, I mean, the story even continues on from there. But
You married him.
no,
Okay,
no, I've
sorry.
never been married. Never been married.
You did the blow bang with him.
We had some of the wildest anal sex I have ever had on our first
And
night ever.
cancel.
And
There's that yellow
outro now.
Yellow dollar sign just popped up on our OnlyFans.
Yes.
All right, so interesting. So here's the thing. I was going to ask you about this. So another study I'd like to bring up again. I keep recommending these books. If you just trust me and read them, you're going to be like, holy fucking shit.
But also, if I'm out with intent, so if I'm out with my girlfriends and a hot guy, then I'm not even looking for hot guys unless we're looking together.
Got it.
Oh, you see this guy? We should
'Cause you want to
take him
threesome.
out. Sure.
Okay, so now- go
but
ahead.
if it's just a girls' night and I meet my girls and we have another mission and a guy would have to approach me. I'm probably not going to even have my eyes open to see anyone.
Got it.
So if somebody approaches me, then it'll kindly be an exchange of information, and then I will decide at a later date through correspondence, because I believe in equal energy exchange, whether or not we will actually meet, and if anything can happen from there. Because in order for you, like, everyone gets my information no matter what. Since high school, I've never given out my phone number, and I keep to that to this day. If anything, I will get yours, or you can have my social media.
Got it.
And from there, make an effort.
Is
you know?
have
a
a
phone
plan.
number more personal than like your social media, really? Because you
Yeah,
can find
it
out
is.
more about you on your social
It
media.
is. I've had some crazy people that'll literally create 20-something Google numbers to just not leave me alone. So
Okay, so I want to bring up another study, and this is the one David Buss mentions it in his last book, and he talks about what happens, what we call the beer goggle effect. And so this has to do with short-term and long-term mating strategies for men and women. When women are asked what their long-term mating strategies are, they said they want a man of this height, this level of agreeableness, this level of intellect, and they usually choose pretty high for long-term partners. When they choose for short-term partners, one of the funny things is, while they might not choose for quite as high for intellect, they actually look for more better-looking men. Meaning they would date Alex the accountant, but cheat with Brock the bartender, right? Or Brock the male stripper. Now, when men are asked what they want in long-term partners, same thing. They want low body count, they want loyalty, they want physical fitness, they want high intelligence and high agreeableness. When they ask men what they want in a short-term sexual partner, what Dr. Buss says, it got to embarrassingly low levels. Like, they didn't care at all. It was 18 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. Like, men would not care. Shout out to the U.S. Army. Like, they would not.
Desert flower.
Yeah, desert flower. They would not care at all. Like, literally, they did not care. Almost, the drunker they got, the closer it got to 2 a.m. In most places, I don't know where you guys live, but in Texas, 2 a.m. they stopped serving alcohol. At that point, they would succumb to extremely low levels of attractiveness or whatever just to have sex with somebody. Okay, what you're saying though, Lindsay, is that you go out with the intent. You go out with the intent knowing that you're going to get laid that night. Ladies, raise your hand if you have ever gone out on a night with the intent knowing that you were going to get laid that night. You have? Anybody else? Just you two? You have?
Miss Summers, I'm shocked. I say.
Yes, only because it's a guy that you're interested in.
No,
and know
you
he's gonna
don't.
be there.
I'm sorry.
No,
Start over.
no.
You don't
No.
know any of the guys.
Blank page.
Blank
No.
fresh.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you went out knowing you are going to get laid that night. Just you. Okay. Oh, you have done this before. You're like, somebody's getting picked tonight. Okay, cool.
No.
Cool. I just find this all
it's
really fascinating.
Thanks, Ron.
The reason why I want to bring this up also is because some of you have said, I was attracted to a guy because of a connection that I had. That's cool. And some of you said, I was attracted to a guy because of his physical attractiveness. It's almost like there's a variety of reasons why women have sex. It's almost
shit.
like there are numerous alpha characteristics that a man can have that cause him to have sex, besides two of you who said that you approached the man, which again, this is anecdotal, but is evidence not supporting Destiny's hypothesis.
Would one of those characteristics be actually approaching women and making an effort?
Okay.
Yes,
But
I would agree.
okay. But
Yes.
the thing is,
One of them would be.
But Destiny said it was 95% of it, and I don't believe that. I think it's not 95%. Go ahead.
I want to say something. So my ex, beautiful
By the way,
man.
but I love your ex. He's an awesome dude.
Yes.
I just want
Is
to make sure.
he a beautiful
Yeah.
man?
He is a beautiful man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's way better looking than me.
And the first time we had sex, I did not like it. I don't care how hot he was. I did not enjoy it. I said, I'm never going to see this guy again. He pursued me, and it took a couple months before I seen him again. And I was like, that was so bad. That was so awful. I didn't find him that attractive, to be honest, when we first had sex. And I stayed the second time that we had sex because there was we had a better night of, it was more enjoyable, and then we bonded. So it's kind of strange. The first time I had sex with him, I never thought I would see him again. Had he not pursued me for months afterwards and wanted to see me, I wouldn't have hung out with him again. And probably would have been in a 3-year crazy relationship. But it wouldn't have happened, So he was a beautiful man. The sex was terrible. And then after we had built chemistry, the sex was better after I had feelings for him. Does that make sense?
Did he pursue you beforehand, or did you go, he's just good looking, but he's bad at sex?
No, he pursued me from the very beginning. Found me on Instagram. So
Like, how long did he pursue before he hit it? 15 minutes.
No, it was a couple weeks, and I actually hung out with him, and we hooked up. I was bored, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy had nothing to offer."
This was bored sex.
It was bored sex. It was 2020. It was COVID. You know what I mean?
Gray area.
And
sex.
and I was like, I will never see this guy again. And he texted, and I was like, I'm just not into you. But he kept pursuing me. I was bored. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him another chance.
So he wore you
That's
down.
attractive. Like a guy like constantly making the effort and like putting in time.
Didn't you just
Yeah.
tell me that
That's
some-
attractive.
But what
No,
if the
it
guy's
was-
creepy and he's on Instagram?
Not
he's
when
like
the
trying to
sex
make the
is
effort.
bad.
But I think that like you can ignore him, or you like if you're not giving him as a woman like any indication that there's any interest, that's different. But like if
And
you're
it also-
engaging with him,
Yeah.
that's different.
And it also depends on the effort that's made too. There's
Yeah.
some guys that'll just jump in your DMs and state 100 million times, "Oh my God, you're the hottest goddess
That's
I've ever
annoying.
seen.
Yeah.
Goddess,
Would
you're
it be
so
fair to
hot."
say it's
But
the
like if you
quality of the
actually,
effort?
Yes,
exactly, that would be a fair
Quality.
statement.
Well, because I've heard your explanation a million times, and it's usually the reason why the guy's persistent effort pays off is because he's at least somewhat good looking enough for that to be endearing.
Yeah.
But if he's not good looking and he's gives you creep vibes and he continues and persists, now he's a stalker.
Yeah, but there's a block button for that too. There's a block button for that. But like a guy that's putting in time and effort, I'm sorry, that's like husband material.
It wasn't.
but
It
they
wasn't
need-
that much effort. I'm going to say this.
But they need a minimum level of physical attractiveness
sure.
and a minimum level of subsistence.
Yes.
They can't be broken living on the couch. Go ahead.
No.
It was
Unless they're her guys.
this.
Unless he's got a 12
You know what? Because I'm a breadwinner, so I don't
Then you can be
date
broke.
guys for what they have. You know what I mean? Because I make my own money. I'm a self-made multimillionaire. I make my own money, so I don't really care what anyone brings to the table because I'm good. But the thing is, after that relationship, I realized I do need a date within my own tax bracket because it is hard. It is hard if you're not because
to want to do things and then
can I-
people
if I
can't
go on a
afford the
trip,
things you
I
wanna
have to
do.
pay double.
Sav,
It's on the list.
Sav, you and me have been friends for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay, that's
More
why-
than that,
that's
since
why-
09.
that's-
Since 09.
2011.
Oh, 2011. God, okay.
Okay, so here's the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I want you to know I'm coming from a good place here, okay?
Okay.
You're telling me you want a guy who's in your tax bracket.
Higher.
Right, that's higher than your tax bracket. But at the same time, you are selling guy-girl porn on your OnlyFans of
I
you
am.
with your ex.
No, I am. Yes.
Do you understand? There are
And-
guys out here listening to this right now who are in that tax bracket.
Well, I don't
They're
wanna square.
And they're like, fucking.
She
no,
wants the freaky
there's
undercover
no-
ones.
Right, but there's-
I like, you know what it is? Someone that's going to be with me, first of all, I'm an alpha female. I can't,
No, you're not.
You don't think so?
You are most
You know-
definitely not.
You have to be okay with, I do make my own money. I just bought my $4 million house.
No,
but I want...
Sav, you keep describing to me what you want, and I'm telling you what the world has to give. The amount of men, okay, let's just say, the amount of men that make over $400,000 a year in the United States, what percentage of men is that?
I don't know.
But that would that be your tax bracket?
No.
Or higher?
Higher.
Okay, higher than that. So
Yeah.
the amount of men who make $400,000 a year is 1%.
Yeah, I'm rare.
Hey, no, hold on. Not
Never
you.
tell her the odds.
You're rare. They're rare. Okay, so of that 1% of men, some of them are fat and ugly, and you're not
Wealthy.
interested. Hey, what percentage of men are over 6 feet tall? You want a man who's 6 feet tall, right?
Well, I have another ex that fits all that criteria.
Okay.
And honey, I know you're watching. I want you back, daddy. No.
Okay, right. So my next question is the amount of men that are over 6 feet tall. What do you think that is?
I find them all of my
But Sav, you're not with them now, and you're telling me you want to find a guy in your town.
How come you're not with them now?
You know what? There's one ex I do want back. There is one.
Sav, you're not listening to me.
Okay.
What I'm expressing to you is you're not with that ex for a reason, because he has more options than you do. That's my point.
No. We have, I think, the same because I always seem to surprise him. No, the thing with him is...
Sav, I love you. I got to shake you out of this.
Why?
Listen to me.
What?
Because you get to fuck him does not mean you got him.
No, we were together also together for 3 years.
I understand that you're together for 3 years,
last ex.
but you're not with him now, and you chose a dude.
No,
who was
but I
outside
was
of your
just on
tax bracket.
FaceTime with him earlier.
I believe you, and
You met him.
and of course I met him. So she's a
Girl,
great.
I
he's a
kind of
great
want
guy.
to shake you right now.
Like I want to shake you out of this. I don't want to physically shake her. I love her. I want to make it cool. But I'm trying to get you out of this mindset because you're confused with this. Because I had sex with this guy who's rich and good looking. That means that you're dude. That is not your man.
We dated. We were together. I have.
Was he
But are you still
he didn't sleep with
together?
anyone else. He didn't sleep with anyone else for 3 years.
No, he did, of course.
Okay.
And I
Oh my God, I'm going home.
But
I'm
I
going
didn't
home.
say
I'm
that
going
he
home.
didn't. I
I'm
never
going
said that he
home. I'm going
didn't.
home.
I never said that he
I'm going
didn't. But we were open and honest about our relationship, and I was okay with that. I was accepting of it because he was honest. Now, if he was bullshitting me and lying and playing games, then maybe I wouldn't have that would have pissed me off. But the honesty, the transparency was there, the communication was there, and to me, honesty is more important than anything.
Got it.
More important than being in an upper tax bracket?
I don't. Yeah, if my last ex was pretty honest, we'd probably.
So if he was a sandwich artist at Subway, you'd be all right.
If you told me broke and just good looking, I'd say you got a good chance. If you tell me, as you stratify, only 10% of men in the United States make more than $170,000 a year. 1% of men. See, look at your face. That is exactly my point. That is exactly my point. Because you think it's different. It's not.
I'm like, I make that a month.
14% of men are over 6 feet tall. You guys, ready? Here we go. 6 feet tall.
There's something wrong with me. I'm not gonna get it.
6 feet tall, make $100,000 a year, not obese, not married. Ready? 0.38% of men in the United States.
Okay, well, put me in that percentage.
Uh-oh.
Usually the guys that are over 6 feet tall don't have the biggest cocks.
Okay, is that what's going on?
Pencil dick.
I don't know.
Spicy Halima, educate them, girl. Educate
Does he
them.
have to have to like compensate?
No, as long as he
making as much
There's-
money?
as long as he knows how to use it.
You know what I?
Yes.
Wait, but how tall is everybody though?
Allie,
Are
I
you
don't know
tall?
what you mean.
There's
I don't know what you mean.
Too much.
We know.
I'm taller than all the short girls.
The bigger usually. The only ones that have really surprised me though in real life have been like the Samoans. For such big people they are, every time it had been so disappointing. I not even.
Samoans.
Who surprised you the most in the best way?
I can tell what a
Shout
guy
out to my
is.
Samoan
No, for real.
brothers.
Who surprised you the best?
can-
Like in terms of like you were surprised, like not saying-
Size-wise?
Yeah.
I can tell what a guy's working with by his hand.
Yes.
You really think there's a correlation there?
Yes, 100%.
No.
I've been
I mean,
doing
like,
it
you
my
said
entire
ethnicities,
existence.
so
There
I'm
needs to
saying,
be a recent
always exceptions.
study.
There are studies
I think
on
there should be a
this.
study.
There are studies on
Hand
this.
to
White guy.
There's-
dick
there
size.
are-
I can do it. I could already tell
it
you
up. I
who would
wanna
be
know.
thicker
I wanna
than
know.
who.
What's the secret?
Lindsay, there are studies. There's no correlation. There isn't.
I can tell you who would be thicker between
Oh
you
my
two.
God, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's generally not even
Gentlemen, let's go. In the back.
Wait, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
All right, guys, hold your hands up. I'll tell you who's the thickest.
I want to know.
Let me say, hold it up. Hold
We
it
don't,
up.
like flip the camera.
I got something
around.
better to do than hold up my fucking hands. dude.
Okay,
There
well,
we
I
go,
can
there
say
we go.
who's average in length.
Are you trying to say
Well,
your hands are bigger?
I think you might have the thickest stick in this room.
Oh, sure.
I agree. Neither is
Sadly,
You guys
sadly,
can
we
figure
will
it
never
out
know.
later and let me know.
Okay, so let's go back to what I was saying before. What happens often, right? The other thing that I want to do that's different about this show is like some of you guys are really close friends of mine. I don't want you to go throughout your life believing that because you fucked a power forward or you fucked a guy who's a billionaire or you fucked Drake, all them hoes fucking with Drake. I don't want you to believe
Not
that.
me.
I don't want you to believe because you did that all of a sudden that is now the baseline for the type of man that you're going to get from now on. Because when you believe that, you end up in a situation where the supply and demand curves never meet. They never meet, and you end up in a situation. No offense, Sav, where you are, where you keep thinking, "Oh, I've got this guy for it." No, Sav, you don't. Like you're like.
Well, let me tell you what I'd rather have. I'm
Okay.
going to tell you what I'd rather have. You know, I've been in a lot of relationships. I know that the more successful I become, the harder it is to
Thank
date.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
not going to lie.
Thank you.
I
This
will
is my
not
point.
lie. It is. It's so hard because my whole life I said I'd give up all the money in the world to find a man that just loved me. And you know what? I've said that, and I've stuck it out for years and years and years. And you know what? To be honest, as a woman, you still want to be wined and dined. You still deserve to be taken out on dates. You shouldn't have to go on a vacation and have to pay double. If a vacation with you and I is $7,000 and we go 50-50, you shouldn't have to pick up the tab for your partner. You shouldn't have to do these things. And when you do, and you do it out of love, subconsciously, you naturally resent them. It causes resentment. Whether how much you love them or not, it does.
You're saying as a woman, you start resenting men when you have to pay for them?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Sign her up.
Yes.
Are you also saying
welcome to the red pill.
Are you also saying that you could not fall in love with a man who does not make as much as you?
No, that's not true because you can ask Sartain. I've been in love with men that don't make near as much as I make, and I've tried.
But they don't last because
naturally, subconsciously, you build up this resentment, and you don't mean to do it. You don't mean to do it. But every time I went to the Bahamas for 4 days, $20,000 in 4 days because I picked up the entire tab because I'm used to going on these types of vacations.
Yeah, but you make that in a week on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I make that in a day.
Here's the thing.
No, you're right. It's a week.
You talk about this all the time. It is very difficult for a woman to respect a man
is.
when she makes that much more money than him and she's constant.
But I've tried.
It's very difficult. What a possible hypothesis. You guys follow along if you don't agree with this. Most of the time, when in a couple between a man and a woman, if a man leads, those tend to be healthier relationships.
Yeah.
Now, some people may argue, but studies tend to show that is the case. Okay, maybe you guys have a different opinion, but that's what it tends to be. What happens is if a woman is making significantly more than a man, and then he's like, "No, it's time for me to lead." She's like, "But that's my credit card." That's the point where this divergence has. And it talks about like even if you go back to the Bible, it's like worse to be a man who doesn't provide for his family. It's better to be a non-believer. It's actually worse to be a man who doesn't provide for a family than to be a non-believer. That's what it says in the Bible. So like when you go back to that whole concept, you understand that's what makes it difficult. Now you put yourself in this tax bracket where you've priced yourself out of the range. To where you're gonna, and that was my only point. That's my only point.
Yeah, no, and you're right, and I try. I don't think I'm better than anyone by any means, and I love to love. I love to be in love, and I love love. I'm passionate and romantic.
I love love.
And I then become more in my masculine energy, and I don't get to flourish in my femininity, and I don't think that's fair to me because I'm such a woman. I'm such a girl. I love. But it's hard to be in your femininity when you pay all the bills, when you're planning the vacations, you're planning the trips. It's really hard to flourish in
how
that.
many? Okay, so most of you are in your 30s right now, I think, with the exception of a few.
No, I'm 22. I'm 22.
Michael.
And
I don't know.
Summers is in her 22. Or how old is she? I don't even know. So, anyways, so you're past.
Is my microphone actually working? Because it doesn't even sound.
I hear you.
They're just fucking with you in the chat. Are you guys looking for a long-term relationship? Are you in a similar position right now where you're trying to find somebody who is sort of like economically attractive well in a long-term sense?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm 33. I'm at the point where I was in the military for 16 years, and I like corporate jobs and all of that. And it's I make pretty decent money, and I think it's as I've been dating, it's really hard to find a guy who is. To her point earlier, the more successful you are in your own career, I've got, degrees and military and all this stuff, it's hard for me to connect with somebody unless they're equal or greater than in terms of their career and where they're at in their life. I would have a hard time dating down.
Amy, really can I ask you a couple questions? Yeah. So first off, there's a distinction here because you're not just an officer, you were prior enlisted. Yeah. So you made it to staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. Yeah. That is not an easy thing to do to become a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army.
Right.
And then you crossed over to become a lieutenant, right? Do you ever find
awesome.
Do you ever find situations when you're dealing with a man and you're it's very difficult to listen to what he has to say, or you find yourself taking over the conversation or being the leader, or in any of those situations?
It's just so funny that you're talking about this because I just had this conversation yesterday with someone about competitiveness.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty natural at this point for me, and I have to check myself because I don't want to be more masculine than my partner. I don't want to compete with my partner, and I sometimes accidentally do that. And so I have to catch myself because, of course, as you know, Michael, since you were in the military too, it's a pretty bro-y, we talk about being alpha female girl. I'm an alpha female, I have to check myself because I was around that environment since I was 17. And you brought up feminine energy. I would love to rest in my feminine energy. And so even though I have all this machiness,
if you could do that would make you an alpha.
I mean, I have a question for you. So do you find yourself having to make the effort to do more what are traditionally female things in a household.
Don't say traditional. Say conventional. Because
Conventional.
everybody has different traditions. I call
Like,
that stuff out because a lot of people don't know make the
Yeah,
distinction.
like
between
Buddhist
those two.
tradition
That's a good
and
point.
Hindu tradition and Muslim tradition and Christian tradition are different.
Okay,
so it's
so more
conventional.
conventionally female things. Do you find yourself having to push yourself to do those things because of the environment that you lived in, and everybody takes care of themselves, kind of thing?
I hope not.
No, I mean, I think inherently I'm pretty domestic. Like, I love to cook. I love to do things like, I mean, this is going to sound silly, but I actually really love laundry. And, like, you know, I love doing those things.
Oh my
so-
God, girl, you can come do mine anytime.
I love to do that. I do. I'm a very, very clean person. And so, like, that homely thing, yeah, no, for sure. Like, I'm very motherly. And I think that's one thing I like about myself.
You know what I've learned,
Maternal
Katie?
instinct?
Yeah.
You know what I've learned, Katie? I love cleaning up after my cats.
Yeah, you like shoveling shit?
I do. Hey, listen.
Wait,
I go to the
what kind of
direct
cat?
worst one.
Meow, meow.
Let me interject something here because a lot of people always ask me, like, whenever somebody says, I'm an alpha female. No, you're not an alpha female. You are an alpha male, but you are a female in an alpha male role.
Yeah. Can I
So-
address a comment too?
Sure.
Okay. So Brian said,
Oh,
laugh
boy.
my ass off. Women get pushed forward in the military, so she didn't really accomplish much. Okay.
Here you go. She's
Wait,
going to
there's
own your
comments
ass.
going?
Go.
Can I just answer?
Go.
Is this over
Rock and
here?
roll.
Where am I looking? Okay.
Look
First of
straight
all,
across. Look, to see the light on?
First of all, motherfucker, it took me 8 years of asking to go to air assault school before I finally got to go. And the only reason why I wasn't allowed to go for 8 years was because I had tits. Fine ass tits and a nice ass, and I wasn't allowed to go for that reason and that reason alone. So when I finally got to go to air assault school, not only did I graduate from air assault school, I got to go to rappel master school, and I'm the first female in the history of the Oregon Army
Yeah.
National Guard to do that. So in terms of like, you know, getting pushed forward, no, I got held back just for being a woman, Brian. So keep texting online because you're wrong.
Beautiful. Brian, I want to hear your response. Hey, I have a ton of super chats. Let me get to my super chats, and if you want to get to some of yours.
Yeah, he's
okay,
George has mine.
ladies, for those of you who don't know, the way super chats work is they're going to call in there, and they can pay a certain amount, and depending on what they pay, like they'll get different color super chats depending on like how much they pay. This one is a $30 super chat. Guy says, weird looking dudes, the average everyday guy, Rollo, tell them the studies that most women don't even swipe right on the average guy, let alone notice them. You speak about them like they're a different species. Gross. Now, what he's referring to is this, okay? On dating apps, what percentage of men do you think get right swipes? Does anybody want to take a guess? What
I
percentage
think
of men?
it's low. It's really low. Right?
do you guys think?
Oh, super low.
30%.
30? What do you
Wait,
think?
no, lower
I'm
than
gonna say
that.
less than 10.
You say that guys
say
get
five.
swipe rights? No, I mean, from everyone
Like
that I've
8.5?
ever talked to, they swipe right on everybody, and they're low. Their percentage is pretty low, except for working girls. Whatever
Okay.
working girls on there, they're always an
Yeah,
automatic
okay,
right.
so-
and then they don't find that out until through conversation.
So 20% of men on dating apps get 63% of the right. I'm sorry, 10% of men get 63% of the right swipes. 20% of men get 83% of the right swipes, which means the bottom 17% of right swipes go to the bottom 80% of men. Do you guys understand that?
No.
For the equivalent for women, the top 43% of women get 63% of the right swipes. Does that make sense? So for women, it's a normal distribution. There's no average men on dating apps. There's really good-looking men on dating apps who get right swipes, and there's a bunch of dudes who get nothing, and a third of men under the age of 30 have zero sexual partners. 33% of men under 30 have zero sexual partners. And that number is actually climbing. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to point out. That's what he's saying is like when it comes to dating, it's very unegalitarian. We're like one of those third world countries where there's like a couple people who are rich up at the top and everyone else is in power, like Venezuela. Dating is turned into Venezuela. That's basically what it is, okay? Second one, I have a $100 super chat. Mr. Sartain
You
from
know,
Brandon.
Thank you for
Mr.
that,
Sartain.
always.
Can I say something? Some of the virgins that I deal with that are, you know, in their early 30s or late 20s, a lot of them, whenever they talk to me, they say a lot of the reason is because they're just shy. And a lot of it stems from like childhood trauma, being picked on in school or whatever it could be, and then they're bringing that trauma into their adulthood.
It stems from this also.
Oh,
It stems from
a lot
like
would come from
normal
that.
normal development of the ability to talk to human beings is taken away because you're looking at a screen.
Oh, I
that is
believe
2
that.
feet from your
It's a buffer.
face.
I
It's a
believe
buffer
that.
for
I believe
social.
That's essentially what's happened.
learning.
Now, what are the great parts? We have way less drunk driving. We have way less child pregnancy. We have way less underage drinking because of this phone. But in what we have instead is an incredibly woke culture.
You are
that
correct
that
about the drunk driving
Yeah.
thing, but I also throw this out there just for balance here. Is half the reason why we have less drunk driving now is because we have Uber.
Yeah,
and
that's
Lyft
part of it too.
now as
Yeah,
well.
but by the way, how do we have Uber and Lyft? Because
Because of the phones.
Okay, $99
So,
$99 super chat for Brett. By the way, thank you guys. You're keeping me off OnlyFans. Thank you for the $99
Yes.
super chat. Mr. Sartain, have you read The Cyber Effect by Dr. Mary Aiken? Great take on how tech affects our physiology and brain development. I'm a cyber and EW officer in the Army. Okay, electronic warfare officer. And I found it fantastic. I'll be joining MOA next month before I deploy. Looking forward to
use my link.
Hey, use his link. And welcome to Fight Club, motherfucker. Welcome to Fight Club. Welcome. We have a $5 super chat. The legendary Rational Mail blog commenter, you really had the best, most in-depth intellectual rebuttal to Looks Matter debate on Rolo's vlog.
100% agree.
Yes. Okay, and then the next one, I have a $49 super chat. Fucking 304s are disgusting. Hey, listen, man. I listen. They for everybody, but I love these hoes. Stop saying that.
Turn 304 upside down.
Juicy J said it. They for everybody, but we love them. So stop saying that shit. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's keep going. Just Jerry he spent $2 to say this. I have medium-sized hands. W Vegas, W flat Earth.
But does it get rock solid?
The hand dick size ratio expert over here. Does that mean he's got a big dick or no?
Honestly, it depends on the whole first finger in correlation to the rest of his hand. You can tell based upon how that first finger looks. You know what I mean? It's like an overall visual aid you can get.
I really wouldn't care.
It's not
really
always
don't care
right.
If you do this on your own social media.
I'm watching Miss Summers and all of this. And she seems like she's an expert
this
at
whole
as well.
correlation between feet or hands and penis size has been refuted.
Doesn't work with the feet.
Okay.
It doesn't work with the feet.
Oh my god, it doesn't work at all. It doesn't.
Let me put it this way. I have not been wrong, and the only times that I have has been on very, very small occasions.
Okay,
and
cool.
they happen,
I want to believe.
Fuck all the science. We're going. Electric Barbie. Fuck all the science. Wait, she's got it figured out. Got it. Okay, beautiful.
I'll teach you girls.
Glenn Lawrence in the back's like, I believe her. I absolutely 100%
Girls, hit me up. I got you covered. I will teach you this nice little nifty trick.
Are you done? I got some too.
Go ahead, let's go.
All right, Paul O. This was the first one. Thank you for the $20 super chat. It says, just some PSA, public service announcement. Besides all of the BS with dating, now there is a women's only Facebook group. Are we dating the same guy in just about every city now?
I was seeing a guy.
Guys are getting burned even before going on dates. The sisterhood uber alles at its finest.
That's a thing?
I love that.
It is, yeah. I was like kind of casually seeing this guy, like he was like love bombing me. But anyways,
text me. Who's the dude?
You guys still use
but his name
Facebook?
was also, I'll just put it out there. His name was also Michael, and one of my girlfriends who lives in this tower was like, "Hey, isn't this guy you've been seeing?" I was like, what? And literally it was a picture of him with like 20 something other women underneath it. I was like, whoa. I can't.
Brian Gonzalez, $5. Thank you. He says, what's sad is some simp will still wife her up and pick up her antiviral STD medication, and you spelled antiviral wrong.
Guys, listen to me. All of you are doing this. You're on a fucking device typing this in. Grammarly.
You took the time.
Grammarly.com is free. You can check your spelling. This is fucking crazy. We're doing this.
This was a really good one. I wanted to read this. Mal MC says, what is your, for the ladies, what is your priority right now? Starting a family or chasing the bag?
The bag.
The bag. The bag.
Traveling.
Bag.
I agree.
family?
Traveling.
You guys are in your
Traveling.
30s. You don't want to start a family or the bag?
No. You know, I mean, I think like if it comes, it comes. You know, like if the family piece comes, but like ultimately, like someone's got to pay for it.
It is what it is.
I want that eye candy, male or female, to come with me so we can collect experiences together.
I'm 22. I'm definitely just after the money for sure right
makes
now.
sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, unless he's hot.
Let's just say.
Unless there's other things there. But yeah.
All right. Joshua Turnage
Who
says,
said
we
that?
have a woman head of Secret Service. Wow. Last year, there was a 48% departure rate of agents. They want to add at least another 30% of women agents. Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't have any thoughts about it. I mean, that's what the federal government wants to do. That's up to them.
Yeah. And I think, is that the last one?
I think those things are self-selecting, though,
Yeah,
right?
that was it.
It's almost like we have an F-18 pilot.
And
in
Sam
there right
Whiskey, thank you for the $20 for my Greyhound Ned's college fund. He's going to college on you. Thank you.
now. I love it.
Keeping him off OnlyFans, one super chat at a time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for keeping me off OnlyFans. I do appreciate it.
And Ned, my dog.
Nice. Did you have anything else you wanted to go over?
Yeah, I did actually. Let's see. I've got a few things here. As far as so we were talking about intent versus social proof. Honestly, I don't necessarily disagree with what Destiny was saying. I just don't think it's the only thing.
Yeah. So
when people tell me it's
sucks,
only
right?
looks, you're probably a looks maxer. You probably are fat. It's probably your greatest weakness, right? When people say it's only about something, it's usually because they have a deficit in that something. So if it's money, it's all the rich guys get a lot of chicks, right? If it's game, if it's charm, the other guy's just charming. He's a natural, right? It's usually something that is whatever they fixate on tends to be what their greatest deficit happens to be. I don't think. I mean, obviously, you have to go out and you have to have some. You got to approach. You got to go out there into the wide world. Wherever, if it's not the nightclubs, go to the gym, go fishing, go to the library, go to college. I don't care what the fuck, wherever you are, go get out there
Aisle in the grocery
and fucking
store.
do it. Yeah, exactly. I know that's where you're supposed to meet your wife, right? But it's when I talk to guys about the same thing we're talking about. I'm not talking about spamming approaches. I usually don't talk about spamming approaches, but I do encourage persistence.
So
do it again and again and again.
Because I'm pretty sure none of you guys. I'm sure none of you guys watched the debate. We did a 4-hour debate with Destiny and Sneeko on last Monday. When we did the debate, one of the things that we talked about is Destiny, who does not believe in. Just not to make this confusing, he doesn't believe that men have alpha characteristics which specifically make women more attracted to them. Which, I know it sounds absurd when I say it out loud, but he specifically doesn't believe this. And part of the reason why I believe is because he's a shorter man with blue hair who's bisexual and lets his wife fuck other dudes. His name's Destiny. And we're not criticizing him for doing that. But what he said instead was the reason why men have sex with more women is because they try to have sex with more women. And while that is one of the pieces, he said it was 95% of it. But you guys are saying you meet a guy and immediately know whether or not you're going to have sex with him. And part of it has to do with chemistry and what he looks like, which are alpha characteristics. So that's the point that we're trying to make. The point was, for him, it was 95%. And for me, I would say it's 40%. I still think that women choose men based on their perceived status. And I don't mean status as far as like how high up they are in their company, or if somebody's a colonel versus a lieutenant colonel. What I mean by is when you look at a man and you see some level of competency, or you see something that makes you attracted to him. And that could be anything from tattoo sleeves to big shoulders to him being funny to him having nice social networks, or the ultimate analogy to competency from the caveman days, which is money. Money is a correlation. Resources. Money is a corollary, or money is an analogy for competency 50,000 years ago. 50,000 years ago, it was the best fisherman, it was the best hunter, it was the best provider, it was the best protector. Today, your man is not doing that. We're far away from the survival scenario. So instead of killing the meat and bringing it into the tribe, he's pulling up in a Lamborghini. But it's the same part of your brain that is seeing him procure these resources, and it is the evolutionary part of your brain that is recognizing those things. Go ahead.
That and chivalry. I mean, I will always love a man that opens the door for me. Those things don't go unnoticed.
What else is
100%
chivalrous besides opening the fucking door?
Well,
what else is there? Because anytime anyone ever says chivalry, it's always, I love it when a man opens my door.
Listening.
What else is there?
Listening.
When you're walking down the street, when your man puts you on the inside of the street,
Yes.
and he walks on the outside.
Do you know where that's from?
I don't.
You know? Does anybody know where that's from?
Yeah, like
I'm going to tell you where it's from. No, it's from Elizabethan, medieval times. Because you know what used to happen was, because there was no indoor plumbing back in the day, they used to throw what was called the slops, which was just basically shit and piss and whatever else out the window. And if the man was on the street side, he was the one who usually got the shit and the piss on him, and the woman did not. That's where
the horse
that
and buggy
etiquette
would come by, it would splash up shit.
Yes.
That's why men.
So,
walk
gentlemen, when you think it's because the traffic, no, that's not working.
But also, Michael, there's two guys that are super wealthy, that aren't confident, that aren't willing to initiate conversation and things like that. So like, there's been scenarios where I know someone has a bag, I know someone's very, very wealthy,
sure,
or they maybe they are like a CEO of a company or whatever. But you try to talk to them and it's like a total dud. So I would say, like, is money important? Sure, to some degree, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
not everything.
It is not everything at all. Like, for me, like I told you earlier, like as soon as I walk up to a guy and I know, that I want to connect with him or whatever, a lot of it comes just from confidence, being funny and like being able to like have an easy conversation with you.
I agree with you.
See, that's where I think. See, that's what I think women construe as chivalry. Because when women start talking about chivalry, they're not talking about chivalry. They're talking about courtly love. They're talking about the romantic idea.
John says, I love it when a 6'2" man, jacked millionaire, opens the door for me.
Is he confident?
Confidently opening that door.
Wait. I have
Go ahead, Katie.
Especially if he's a ginger.
I always open the door for men.
So do you think a lot of
They
this
have to open mine
correlation
first.
comes from a lot of men becoming entrepreneurs now? So their focus is on money rather than being with women?
The wealth disparity is actually higher than it's ever been, but the number of people in poverty is also lower than it's ever been. So it's not, there's always been men focused on being entrepreneurs. What's different now is that you start seeing these mega entrepreneurs that are, there's never been a guy worth $400 million before Warren Buffett. And so like, or Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Those are the first times, or Carlos Slim. Those are the first guys to ever do something like that. And so that's what we notice, but most men are not like that. I don't think entrepreneurship is what's changed. What's changed, Katie, is that we're further away from the survival scenario. One of the studies that you can find is where we talk about testosterone levels has decreased since from the 1950s. Well, of course they have, because we're away from the survival scenario. Men do not have to chop wood and go kill things out at the farm in order to get back in there and feed their family.
Well, but here's the other thing. You've also talked about statistics about 60% of college admissions are
women, and 68% of the graduates are women. Yes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that entrepreneurship has to come from men not wanting to go to college.
Yes. No. What's happened is Grant Cardone and several other people are telling men don't go to college. And those men are then becoming entrepreneurs. Now, what's happened is a vast minority of them are actually becoming successful entrepreneurs. Yeah. I got news for you guys.
Except for Tristan. Tristan makes more money than anyone in this room.
I got news for you guys. A lot of you who are watching these programs of these self-help coaches who are telling you not to go to college, some of you motherfuckers need to go to college.
Yes.
You do. Not all of you are going to have an Amazon FBA that's going to make you $1 million a month. We've been doing Amazon FBA for a while now. It's getting harder and harder to get in there. Not all of you are going to become
shipping, bro.
Are going to become fucking real estate agents. You know what we have plenty of? Lawyers, actors, and real estate agents. We got plenty of those. But people are trying to jump into that arena now when it's too late to join. And what's happened is they're foregoing fucking college because they're doing that. And so some of you guys actually might need to learn a trade. Go ahead, Savannah.
I've made the majority of my money actually before OF real estate. Yes. All my houses, everything paid for real estate. I've been doing real estate over 10 years. I will say this. Everyone's like, oh, you want to do this? You need to set yourself apart from everybody else in any aspect of your life. With real estate, what made me my money was network. I've sold some of the biggest girls. Before I ever had an OnlyFans, how I got into OnlyFans was me selling to the top creators and the top content creators and OnlyFans. I saw the numbers and the financials, and I said, fuck it, I'm hot. These are my friends. Why don't I start an OnlyFans? I'm an entrepreneur. With e-commerce, now with e-commerce, I also do e-commerce, and I'm great at e-commerce. And I'll tell you, people would say that market's saturated. Let me tell you.
That hustler mentality.
I'm a hustler, and do not doubt me.
What did you do before you were, so you went from real estate to OnlyFans, and you still do real estate right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And
what did you do before you did real estate or OnlyFans?
I've been doing real estate since 2009. I bought my first house. Yes, correct. I bought my first house in 2009. I worked at Reno 1 year. I saved every single dollar I made.
So you stripped, then you became a real estate agent.
What I did is I didn't become an agent to become an agent. I got my license to buy my own property, to build my own portfolio. I became an agent because by luck, I guess, my friends would come to me. Oh my God, you have a license. Why don't you help me? Why don't you help me? I was like, well, fuck. Okay, I will. And then they wanted $1 million houses. And then by accident, by default, I became a luxury real estate agent when I didn't even mean to become an agent, period. I got my license only to buy my personal houses.
This is going to make the chat's brains melt. So here's what happened.
They're already melting.
What she's explaining right now. Like, not only did she do OnlyFans, but she specifically got a real estate license. So for those of you who don't know, Jeremy was telling me this. Jeremy Liz was telling me this thing. It was like there's 1.8 million real estate licenses in the United States, and like
40,000 realtors in Vegas.
Right. But it was some crazy number. Like 25% of them have sold a house. Like 75% of people who get real estate agents, maybe it's not that number, maybe it's 60% or 50%, but it's an absurdly high number of people who go from bartender to real estate agent and never sell a fucking house. And they went through the whole thing for nothing. It's crazy how
I was about to say, because there's a lot of fees and there's a lot of money that is involved in the business and the hustle that is real estate agents, becoming a real estate agent that nobody tells you about. Just become a real estate.
Do you guys want to know where the money is?
There's a lot of fees. There's memberships. You got to be part of the agency and all that. That's why I was asking you, what did you do before? So you're stripping and then you use that to get into real estate?
The average commission of a real estate, like I just sold, just in 1 month last year, I sold $6 million in real estate. Just in 1 month, I sold 6 million.
But when you first got into it,
When I first got my license, I sold, I think, $1 million. I was hanging my license with Jeremy Lewis, who I've known since I was 18 years old. And our friends own the brokerage, Rothwell Lawrence companies. And by accident, it was just everyone started coming to me. But what I did, like I said, is I worked at the Rhino for 1 year. And I saved all of my money, bought my first house as a foreclosure. I sat on that house for almost 10 years, turned around and sold it.
Was that in 07? Was that in like the downturn? Or?
09. Yeah. Okay. 09. And when Vegas was a black hole, I bought that. I bought a $775,000 house for $375,000 with an FHA loan. I bought that house. I paid it off in 1 year. I sat on it for over 10 years, resold it for over $700,000, pulled out the equity, and I started buying properties and buying them. And now I have over $7 million in real estate assets.
Incredible. And the thing is, you solved the problem. This is why the brains are.
This is why you will never get married.
No, I want to get married.
You will never find love.
The problem.
Prenup.
The problem is you did something that like the chat is going to criticize for you being on OnlyFans, and then you use that in order to find other girls that were on OnlyFans, and you exclusively made them your clients and became a successful real estate agent, like just going after girls who made a ton of money on OF. It's like and it's nefarious and genius at the same time.
Respect the hustle.
It's like respect the hustle. It's like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I want to go back to something I was going to say before. You guys want to know? You want to know where the money is? The money's not in acting. The money is teaching other people to become actors. The money is not becoming a real estate agent. It's teaching a real estate course. The money is not in becoming a lawyer. It's owning a law school. That's where the money is.
Sell the fantasy.
There's too many people trying to get into these industries, and that's the problem that's happening. And the other thing is, and I know you're in this too, and I don't mean to discourage you. You want to make a lot of money? Don't do Amazon FBA. Teach other people how to do Amazon FBA. That's where you make money, dude.
Or start private label, or start your own private label.
Yeah.
You know, find something that is an everyday product that people use and just make it better and start your own PL. Listen, I'm an entrepreneur, and the next thing I want to do is I want to buy my own jet. I've been looking at private planes. I can buy my own jet for $3 million. My house is more than that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't limit yourself. Do not limit yourself.
That is a fucking baller move too, because like that is a Kiyosaki move. That is a Ken McElroy move.
I want to go on these trips. I want to go on these trips.
I'm talking about too.
That's when we have Robert,
tax write-off.
When we have Robert Kiyosaki here, do you want to be in on the interview?
I do. And you know what I want to do when I buy that jet? Everything I buy, I rent out and I make money off of it, and then I use it when I want to use it.
Robert's gonna love you.
I want my personal pilot's license. That's bucket list of mine.
Girl, listen, it makes sense. I'm gonna have
I'll fly your jet.
Girl,
we're gonna have a group team here.
You know, and it's not gonna be the most. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy something used that has miles. I'm gonna buy a little worn out on the inside. I also do interior design, and I'm going to redesign the inside of this plane. And for nothing, you know what I mean? Because rather than with my furniture, I design all my furniture. I don't buy it from a store. I go direct to the upholstery freaking store and have it custom made. Like, I go straight to the corporate. You know, like, just do shit yourself. Like, get creative. Like, I love, like, helping people. Like,
dude, I'm glad that we were able to film this commercial for you.
No, you know what? Because so many people limit themselves.
Okay.
You know, so I'm like,
do you have another one?
Yeah, I got another question. We were talking about this before we went on camera, but over 70% of Americans cheat at bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Hey, guess where they cheat?
Yes,
anybody want to guess what city that they cheated?
Where do they cheat?
Las Vegas.
All right, have you guys ever witnessed someone cheat at a bachelor party? Anybody?
And I've got some numbers for
Ready?
you.
Go ahead.
God,
what have you seen, Amy?
Oh yeah, bachelorette party, male strip club.
Stuff happens.
Male strip club.
I have a great story just
Santana,
from
you see anything?
bartending.
Who else saw something?
Have any of you ever been married?
I've been
Anyone
one
on
of
the
the
table
girls.
been married before? No one's been married. Okay.
Santana, what did you
Married to the
see?
game.
Married to the game.
I work at a strip club where there's like bachelorette parties all the time, and there was a guy whose brother of the sister who was marrying the guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, you're not gonna go sleep with my friend?" And I was like, "No, of course not. I'm a stripper. Like, I'm not here to sleep with your friend." He was
I'm here
like,
to look at.
It was literally the girl's brother asking me that. And I was like,
The bride for the groom.
Yes.
Sleep with the groom.
I was mortified. I was like, oh my God, if my brother did that to me, I would fuck him up.
You're the
I have a
perfect
great
person
story.
to ask. Okay, hold that thought.
But I get that a lot. It happens all the time.
You're the perfect person to ask this next question. Does a lap dance count as infidelity?
No.
Anybody
Because if my
Raise your hand
husband...
if
I
yes.
got one.
Raise your
No.
hand if yes. Anybody else think yes?
No.
Amy, go ahead. Why do you think it is?
I think yes, if, and I'm going to say big if you have, no, not if you're aroused, but like if you have, agreement with your partner that that's not okay. And if it's decided that it's not okay and you still go and get a lap dance from somebody, that is cheating.
Now,
agree.
Santana,
Thank you.
have you ever given a lap dance to a bachelor at a bachelor's party?
Oh, 100%. Multiple times.
They're the
You're
main
going to
target.
hell.
There's a special throne waiting for me. I already know. Definitely.
Well,
yeah, I have. I mean, it's like, how do I know what they've decided on? I'm not doing anything wrong, technically. I mean, I get what you're saying. I really do, and I respect that. But if you're talking about that, that's something that the man should also communicate to the stripper. Or he should just, communicate that to whoever's giving the lap dance. Like, how am I supposed to know that?
31% of the survey said that, 33.1% said that lap dances were cheating. Okay,
Less
what
than
about
half.
what about kissing? Is that
Yes.
Yeah,
infidelity?
okay,
Yeah,
That's so
100%.
that's more
100%.
intimate than sex.
Yeah, I agree. That's very
more
intimate,
intimate
for sure.
than sex.
So is kissing another it could be a guy too, for on a bachelorette party, right? So it could.
I mean, I've never
does
done that with a
count?
bachelorette.
Would you
Wow.
would you rat your girlfriend out and say she kissed another dude on her bachelorette party? Would you?
No, I'm not ratting my girls out. I'm not doing that. But I do agree. I feel like kissing is very intimate. You can have sex with someone and not
Exactly.
even
I
look
agree
at their
with you.
face.
I
You know
close
what
your
I mean?
eyes.
Have you guys? Oh, wait.
Put a
Have you guys,
pillow over that shit.
hold on. Have you guys ever had sex with someone and
I'm
not
in a
kissed them?
nightmare right now.
I have, and it was
Stop.
horrible.
Stop. Have you guys ever had sex with someone and not kissed them?
100%.
God dang. Hold on. Wait. How did this happen?
It's not fun.
You know what? To be honest with you, I used to be a little wild.
Okay.
No, I mean it's
Used
used to
to be.
happen.
She used to be.
I used to be.
Really?
I
Used to be.
I was. No, the thing is this because
Those are some big hoop earrings you were wearing today.
what do they
Throwing
say?
that
The
out
bigger
there.
the hoop, the bigger. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you're ovulating,
Yeah.
actually.
The bigger the hoop, the bigger the poop.
No, you know what it is? There's a lot of circumstances like that. Or in the middle of it, you can become turned off. I was so attracted to a guy before, and then I had sex with him, and I was like, holy crap, he kept going limp. And I was like, God, am I not turning the guy on? He kept
It's
going
bad
limp.
cocaine.
It was, and he lied to me about it.
Yep.
Kaylin,
Booger sugar.
I want you to talk more. Tell me what you had sex with a guy, didn't kiss him.
Yeah, so my ex, after the year of being together, we just didn't have the intimacy, so we would fuck just to get off, but we wouldn't kiss. It would just
Got
be
it.
nope.
It.
Like,
What?
I like
Yeah.
it.
When do you said you did it also? You had sex with a guy. Go ahead. Allie. I think it's Allie today.
Yeah, we're gonna go by Allie today.
Going with Allie.
Yeah, same thing as you. Like you lose the intimacy, or it starts off that way and it just continues that way for a long period of time. So I will say I've never been one to really kiss my partners during intercourse, except for when it's like I'm really enjoying it. So this is something that's new to me. That's intimate, different sensations that are going on at the same
I'm
time.
not kissing if we're a quickie in a stairwell. We just got to get in.
I
and
usually
get out.
don't kiss. I don't kiss.
Sarah and Amy, have you guys ever had sex with someone you didn't kiss?
I think so, but I mean, I'm a different breed. I'm more of a long-term relationship
Sure.
kind of girl.
Yeah.
So,
Were you always like that?
You too.
Yeah, for sure, always. I've never been a stripper. I've never done OnlyFans. I've never taken naked photos. None of that. I'm pretty straight laced.
So there's no
Blast of the
nudes of
clean
you?
livers.
You have
No
no
nudes.
nudes.
Sarah, have you?
I know, no nudes. It's sad news.
Embrace
for
that
everybody.
Hold on.
femininity.
Santana and Katie, have you guys ever had sex with someone and not kissed them?
I have, but it was my sugar daddy. If I'm hooking up with you and I like you, I want you to stick your tongue down my throat, honestly.
Okay, there's a survey, and I can't find it, but I saw it once, and I love this. One of my favorite surveys ever. They asked dudes. They say, "Is it cheating for you to get a blowjob?" And it was something
Hell
like
yeah.
something like 40.
For
hold on,
sure. What?
something like 40% of men said no, it was not cheating when they got a blowjob. Is
that why they like getting them from men?
Let me finish.
Less than half.
Let me finish. Then they asked these same men, "Is it cheating if your girlfriend gives a blowjob?" 97% of men said it was cheating. I just one of my favorite surveys ever.
What's the rationale behind that? I want to hear from a man.
Ready? You
Yeah,
want? Okay,
I wanna
so
know.
we're gonna open this can of worms. Cheating for men
I
and
should have said that.
Right?
I gotta crack my back now for that.
there we go. Ready? Cheating for men and women are different, and here's the science behind it. When women cheat, that 78% of the time they report having less satisfaction in a marriage than women who don't cheat. When men cheat, they report the same satisfaction in a marriage. Meaning, when women cheat, they're there to find a new head coach. When men cheat, they're there to rearrange the roster. 83% of the time, when women cheat, they fall in love with their affair partners. 29% of the time, men fall in love with their affair partners. Men cheat because they have a biological urge to put their penis in something. Women cheat generally, not all the time. Some ladies are just out there to fuck a dude. But generally, women cheat because there's something they're not receiving in their relationship, and they're swinging to another monkey branch to find someone else to be a provision.
Don't get married then.
So it's like emotional. Like
Okay.
women cheat emotionally, men cheat just physically.
Let's just say in general. We're going to say somewhere between 75 and 83% of the time.
Because sometimes
Yes, not
what
100%
they're
of the
missing
time.
in their marriage is hot fucking sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
so that could be a
just so we
deficit
know,
as well. Yes.
We're not saying that cheating is right or wrong, because I don't think it's right. But my point is, men can cheat in a relationship, come back to the relationship, and there's no functional difference in the relationship. And it's funny because when I talk to strippers or some people like that, I'm like, do you think men can hook up with a girl and not have any feelings? They're like, of course they can. Women generally, again, because 83% of the women fell in love with their affair partners, means 17% of the women did not fall in love with their affair partners. Most women, when they're going to cheat on their boyfriend, they're doing so to find a new person to be with. Okay. Now, what happens sometimes is that person they're looking to be with, who's higher status, better looking, whatever, turns out he's not really interested in being in a long-term relationship, so they go back to their original partner. Does that make sense? That's generally what happens. So my point is, when women cheat, it is worse for a relationship. When men cheat, there's endless studies on this. You guys can be like, no, it's terrible. Yeah, I'm not saying, we're not talking about morality. We're not talking about morality. We're talking about destroying the relationship. When women cheat, it destroys the relationship more than when men cheat. Period. That's just the way it is.
I can believe that.
Okay.
So there's men that'll be like full on sex addicts and their wives never find out.
For sure.
There's a lot of guys,
I could
too,
date with
who
you, but I
also
won't
like
do
to
that.
cheat just because it's their fetish.
I'm sure that's like
I'm gonna
half
keep
your
my
guys'
mouth
OnlyFans subscribers, though, too.
Probably.
Right? I mean, like,
Exactly.
it's all
Busted.
married people or
Oh my
like
God.
your cousins or something. You know?
You know what? I had a wife on OnlyFans, and the poor woman, she really thought I knew her husband. And to be honest, I felt my heart, like, I don't condone cheating. I would never be with a married man. I have my morals, I would never. And I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know him personally. I've never met him in person. I don't even know. I have over 50,000 fans on OnlyFans. I don't know who this person is, you know?
So
But how do you explain
11% of bachelor parties had sex. So the kissing, by the way, was 21.3%. So
Yeah,
we
I
got
like how
that.
you intervened
So
back now.
throw that. Okay, but there's other things here too. So 11% of them actually had sex on bachelorette parties. So that's like actual intercourse as far like that's why I was asking the kissing and the lap dances first, because that is the most common and it's considered infidelity. But then 9% said they engaged in a threesome. that was the bachelorette party.
Can we just talk about the elephant in the room? Ready?
Go for it.
Electra Barbie,
Shoot it.
What? Uh-oh.
you have some proclivities.
I have what?
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do this real
What's
quick.
the
Okay?
proclivity?
We're gonna do this real quick, and we're gonna end with you.
Oh, no.
The most number of people you've had sex with in a 72-hour period. Shout out to the Whatever podcast that they came up with this question. The most number of people you've had sex with in a 72-hour period, Katie.
3 days.
2?
2? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Double shifting.
I have to answer this?
Yeah.
At the same time, or like
No,
like
at any time from the beginning of
concurrently,
it,
or
within a 3-day period, the number of people that you've had, different people you've had sex with in a 3-day period.
3.
3,
One.
1,
And vanilla.
2.
2,
2.
2,
4.
4.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Oh,
But
no, stop.
five.
We're not getting to you yet. Go ahead, Allie.
2.
2. Okay. What if you were going to push here, Electra Barbie? What
The
is
only thing I can say that I know
Oh,
would be
don't.
a definite bare minimum would be 5.
5. You
But
5 in a 72-hour period.
Well, at least in a 24-hour period. So the other 2 days, I don't know. Maybe I was taking a break, or maybe I found
So,
someone else.
you-
I don't
this
know.
is-
Talking about
okay.
full-on penetration,
So-
or like
So
just
hold
like
on. So I'm in guys. I'll let you guys know. I'm in Jamaica, and I'm giving a speech to the MOA clients at Paradise Challenge, and Electra Barbie comes and sits down there and starts talking about. Do you mind if I tell the story?
I mean, I don't care. Go for
Okay.
it.
She starts telling the story about how she enjoys multiple men at the same time, and we're just like it came out of complete left field, and we're just staring at each other like with our mouths open, like what? huh? What the fuck's going on? Do you want to go on and like, this is a fetish of yours, multiple men at the same time?
I can tell you about what my biggest fantasy on the planet would be.
Okay.
You know, so like in my head, if I could make anything happen, I would build a box, and it would be a white box that's just above.
I think this is what you told us, yes.
Oh, did I? Just above my head, because I mean it. I want this to happen. I want someone to build me this box, and I want it to be big enough just for me and one other of my girlfriends, and I want their holes to be everywhere. All over the top, the sides, the bottoms, and I want all the penises in the box. So me and my girlfriend are inside the box, and all these penises come in, and we should be able to just
hold on, and you don't know. Hold on.
Next on kink.com.
You don't know what the guys look like, right?
No,
the point,
it's okay. It's a penis.
This is like a multi-glory hole. Now,
Right.
hold on. Now, this is...
but hold on, wait, because we got to be able to pick our head up, and like it's got to be able to get it in our mouth.
Shit, man.
I want to be able to high five her on side, be like, girl, this one
Guys,
feels real
everybody let
good.
her
Get
talk.
this one.
Everyone let
I'll
her
be like,
talk.
oh my god, I can't even get this one down
Sab,
my
let her
throat.
talk.
Can you? And then you know what I mean? Like I want to try it. I want to be like, oh, you feel this one? Because where else are you going to get that
Okay,
much
so now-
variety in one?
So
in
it's
one
like
sitting?
penis whack-a-mole.
But better.
Okay, so
but
now,
better.
here's my question, right? Everyone, be silent here real quick.
Oh no.
So, ladies, to which one of you ladies does this sound
There's the
appealing
title
to?
of this shit.
Does this sound appealing? Does this sound appealing to any other ladies? No? Wait, what's going on, Santana? Santana. So,
I'm freaky as fuck. I just wasn't gonna go there. But, like, I was on Toxic Talk a couple weeks ago.
I mean, if we were in the box
I'll tell you
together,
how it is.
I'd be like, look at this one right
We've
here.
talked
Look at
about
one.
this, actually.
The chat says she
multiple
talks about this kind of girl.
okay, ready? Hold on, time out. Sab, what? Sounds appealing to you?
Yeah, because I've had a similar fantasy. I want to lay there. I don't want to know who the person is. I don't want to know anything, and I just want to get fucked. You know, so I have a similar, yeah. I'd be the friend in the box. I'll shut the three of
But
us.
make it a really, really
three of us.
bougie
No, I'll
box
definitely
with
join the
super
box.
padded
Yeah.
circles,
Okay,
so all
can
of
I-
their
can I-
penises
They gotta be good
can rest
dicks,
in there
Can I point
nicely.
out? Can I point out one other thing, Rolo? I want to point
Let's
this
make
out.
it comfortable
Besides
for
this
him.
being like a human centipede
Yes.
kind of situation.
I want to point out one other
God.
thing because
My
we're gonna get criticism for this, and I don't give a fuck. But listen, I want to point out something else. Because you and I decided to have a podcast like this, where we're not
Yes.
trying to get people with gotcha,
Yes.
we are getting, would you agree, a more open and honest description of female sexuality than whatever podcast, love Fresh and Fit, but then what Fresh and Fit, because they're on their guard on those podcasts. They're on the people are on their guard.
True.
They're not on their guard here, and you
True.
hear these women telling the truth. I just want to point that out for those of you. We're all different podcasts. I love those guys. I support all of them. I support whatever. I support Pearl. I support fucking Fresh and Fit. Okay, I'm telling you this. My point is, why we do this differently is because people are more honest with us than anybody else. And if you don't believe it, go back and listen to the last fucking 5 minutes.
Yes.
Anyway, what are you saying?
Dicks in a box is why we rule everything.
Magic dick
Again,
box.
well, I'm not saying that this isn't the end of society, because it probably is the end of society. My point is, we get a bit more honesty on this show than other people. That's my only point.
I want to give a big shout out to Rolo though, because you're supposed to be like the godfather of red pill or whatever, right?
Not on this show.
Yeah, but you do a really good job of listening and not judging, and you're very open to girls' conversations, which I would not have expected before meeting you a few times.
Something about doing this for 20 some odd years. Yes.
Shout out to Rolo.
something. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
So anybody that thinks he's like red pill asshole, he's not.
No.
I love it. Okay. I want to play a game, and then I want to go to your next question.
All right.
Okay, we're going to play a game.
Play the
again.
game.
So since we did that, shout out to whatever podcast, because
You mean you have something beyond penis whack-a-mole?
yes.
Okay.
Shout out to whatever podcast, because they were the one who came up with the
You
number
should
of.
see the party game I bought for my girls.
Yes, here we go, because this is going to be a super fun game. Ready? Each person you've had sex with is equal to $1. What can you buy with your body count? Katie?
Oh, I don't like this.
No, because that's giving it up.
Okay.
$20 is $20.
A nice bottle of water.
Nice bottle of water. Okay. Santana?
A really nice Mercedes.
Mercedes is several $1,000s, honey.
Wow. We're talking like
It's high, but like
100
I mean,
grand.
I've
You mean an S class?
I know what I like. I've experimented. Okay, not an S class.
Not an S class. Somehow, like, I actually don't believe you. I don't think that you've had sex with that many people.
All right, well that's fine. Actually, it's better that way. You can.
Yeah,
not
I don't.
believe
I
me.
don't believe you've had sex with enough people to afford a Mercedes. All right, go. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Literally, maybe, but I mean, in this question, I don't think you have. Amy,
That's fine.
Hard pass.
hard pass. Cool. Sarah, what could you buy with your body count?
Maybe like a latte at Starbucks.
A latte at Starbucks.
Girl,
there we go.
Yeah.
That's about right. That's what I was looking for. Sav, what could you
put
buy
all
with
the
you?
good girls on this.
I've always found myself in relationships. Not that many, honestly. I don't even know what.
So what could you buy?
Fuck, maybe something cheap.
A private jet.
No, something cheap. I don't even
cheap
know.
private
like,
jet.
Maybe a cheap bottle, like a $19.99 bottle of wine, $49 bottle of wine. I mean, something cheap. I mean, I don't. To me, that's not a lot of men.
a cheap bottle of 1942.
Am I the only hoe? What the fuck?
Ready?
Manischewitz wine. That's what you can afford.
Okay.
I mean, if we're talking about wine, maybe a bottle of Camus. There you go. I want that level.
I love Camus.
Sorry.
I got a whole wine cellar full.
I don't know how much that is, but I'm gonna.
It's a little more than hers, but
A
yeah.
little more. Okay, nice. What could you buy?
Do girls count too?
Yeah, girls count too.
okay,
So,
well, then-
yeah, she's saying the island of Turks and Caicos. Is that what you're saying you could buy?
Probably. I have my own private island
You
by
could
now.
actually do the Louisiana Purchase on your own.
We can
Is that
all
what you're saying?
come. We can all come and party on my island.
Did you get
literally.
off with-
Nice. Okay. Allie Summer. It's Allie, right? It's Allie Summers. Allie, what were you doing?
A nice bottle of water.
A nice bottle of water. Okay, with your body
Tall
count.
glass of water. Yeah.
Like
Got
a
it.
Voss
Okay.
glass bottle.
Okay, so what do you,
yeah.
anyway,
Evian.
shout out to Fresh and Fit. I always like to do things from other podcasts and shout them out. Go ahead.
All right. So this was really good. I'm going to throw this one out here real quick. A shocking number of people don't consider mouth stuff actually cheating. According to a study conducted by pro cheating website Victoria Milan. Are you familiar with Victoria
I'm not.
Milan? Okay.
Pro cheating.
Yes.
What the fuck's a pro cheating website?
Yes. Yeah, you tell me, man. I just work here. Anyway, which involved asking 9,107 members of the affair-seeking site about their sexual preferences when it comes to
This is just Ashley
sex
Madison. Got
outside.
it.
Kind of like, but it's for the UK. You know how they are over there. The survey found that 65% of women and 68% of men being up for oral sex as a deal breaker. So there's your numbers right there. You wanted the stats? I'll give you the stats.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Wait, say that again. What
So
was?
65% of women and 68% of men are being up for oral sex is
Yeah, I think
a
that's
deal
incredibly
breaker.
low. Those are incredibly low
Cheating,
numbers.
eating ain't cheating. Let's see.
So if are you doing the eating or are you the one being eaten?
Oh, you know what I
Yes.
think it is? I think if my girlfriend goes down on another girl, no, that's not cheating. That's totally
72%. Oh, here's a good one.
Yeah.
72% of women surveyed and 85%.
That is very encouraged. Yeah.
85% of men said oral sex needs to be happening in every relationship.
Yes.
And the frequency of
Blowjob
oral
a day,
sex
baby.
should
Blowjob a
not
day.
diminish over time. That was actually leading up to my next question because I have been on shows with Myron and Fresh where they say that they don't go downtown.
My ex didn't. I went a whole year and a half
I don't
without getting
understand
head.
that.
It was
my
like,
God.
torture. Fuck
That's
that
like
guy.
a that's like an
when it
immediate
happened, were you like,
rejection.
Is
Like, the guy isn't
a little bit more
equally
intimate?
doing-
Kaylin, you know what that means? That means if you let some other guy do it, it's not cheating. You know that's what that means, right?
You know what? Yeah, I didn't know
I'm just
that
kidding.
about
I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. I'm about to get destroyed in
I
the
want to
chat.
ask you this. I've never gotten off.
From-
Oh God.
Really?
Not one time.
You need to find someone who's
I can change that for
I
you.
met the right guy.
Or girl.
I've never gone off. So to me, it's never
Absolutely.
been a big deal.
I think a lot of guys kind of suck at it though.
Really? I've never gotten off by it. Not one time.
I'll gladly be down there for hours.
I was gonna say I'll help you
Here
out.
we go.
Shit, I might be.
I don't know my
Are
way
you guys
around.
going out later?
Yeah, let's go take turns, baby.
Where
I'll
you
get
go? Sorry,
the back,
what are you
she'll get the
saying?
front.
Well,
Hey guys,
Talking
time
to
out.
the mic.
Listen to Sarah.
Speaking of the mic.
first.
so I was with my ex for like 10 years, like a really long time, and he was fucking phenomenal at it. Like, got me off.
Going down?
There you go.
Yeah, oh yeah. But then any other guy that I've ever been with that did it, they were terrible. Never got me off. He was the only one.
Wow.
You
I've
think
never
it's an
experienced-
emotional
It's
thing?
harder for sure. I feel like for sure
I wonder why. Like I've never.
I know exactly why.
because you have a circuit board. Men
We're gonna
have
go-
one
we're gonna go
button. Women have a
evolutionary
million.
psychology here in a
That's why.
Yeah. So
No,
it's like I was just saying, like oral sex is way more intimate than actual sex, because somebody's like looking at your private parts,
Yeah,
whereas
like,
you can have sex. Like
Is
we were
it
saying
a
earlier.
self-conscious thing?
Yes, definitely, for sure. A lot of people, that's why they have sex with the lights off.
Imagine like a woman. We go to the gynecologist. We are spread open, wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so when a man's going down, we're
Sab,
spread. Oh, you know what I mean?
Sab, like this for real?
Like our legs.
Like this?
You know,
Like
so,
this,
and
Sab?
when a man,
It's like this?
It's more like this.
It's like
Sab, it's not like this though, right? It's not
that
like
means we're
this.
vulnerable.
And all the
Like this.
roasties in the chat for a while.
Yeah, so for somebody to be looking you right in your like most vulnerable place,
Hoo-ha.
that's very intense. Where I think it's way different for women. I think women definitely internalize it more than men do because it's like, I guess let's call it your female parts. They're like, it's inside, whereas guys are just like used to having this thing swinging around and they're just like, oh, like here it is.
I'd rather give a blowjob any day of the week.
Really?
Like, blowjobs
Yeah.
are my thing. And you know what? I hate to
sucking
even
dick.
say, like, if I decided I'm not going to sleep with you, I'll give you a
And
consolation prize of a blowjob. But my blowjobs are not consolation prizes. So technically, it's win-win
All right,
for me.
I got
either
two
way.
Go ahead,
I got two quotes.
go ahead and promote your Instagram real quick. I'm
One
just
more
kidding.
time.
I'm fucking
There
with you. I'm
go.
fucking with you.
Make some money. Okay, here we
Lecture
go.
Barbie 2.0, you guys.
Now we're gonna go evolutionary psychology, courtesy of Rob Henderson, who is not quite Dr. Rob Henderson just yet, but will be soon. Engagement in oral sex suggests that it is a common human sexual behavior. 67% of straight women reporting receiving oral sex from their partner, whereas 99% of them reported performing oral sex on their partner. Next, men use cunnilingus, the proper Latin word for the technique, as a way to manipulate or their mates, pun intended, mates and retain their mates. Men may suspect that if their partner is deciding to leave them, it may behoove them to perform sexual behaviors such as oral sex that they normally would not engage in. So,
to only learn that he sucks at it, to be like, okay, bye.
Theory has it that going down on a girl is a beta male mate retention behavior. Do you agree or disagree?
Not.
That's funny.
No, okay, man, I'm going to get so much trouble for this.
I know. That's why
I like to do things with multiple people who have XX chromosomes, and I've got an upper half and a lower half, and I got to involve everyone. Does that make sense? You guys understand?
Yeah.
Do I sound crazy?
No.
Is that not crazy?
You're spreading the joy.
I'm a team.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
team.
like his
I'm
pleasure.
a team player. I'm Magic Johnson. I'm going. Well, no, that's a terrible.
You're prolonging the
I'm
magic.
John Stockton. I'm going right here. I'm going left here.
Full stop, Michael.
Rescind that.
Well,
strike that from the record.
And that is actually, I thought that was interesting because that is technically one of the reasons, although they never really made the connection, but it's one of the reasons why at least Myron anyways, I don't know about Fresh, but we'll say that it's a beta male behavior.
Yeah, like I said, I have an upper half and a lower half, and we may have two friends.
I heartily disagree.
I think if guys don't go down on girls, honestly, you might not be really attracted to girls, or maybe your female does not go to get her checkups as much as she probably should. If that's the reason why, then that's all, like her
I
hygiene
would
is
not
off.
be able to be with someone like that.
You should not really have like an odor or
Yeah.
a stench or like leaking fluids that are
Oh my
not
God.
clear. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like that's
Everybody
very
go get
unhealthy.
your
Go to the
STD
doctor.
check.
Hygiene's important.
Hygiene.
The
But
term
if
is bacterial vaginosis. That's
yeah,
what you're looking
BP. It's very right. But if a man's not going down on a female, I think it's really because. Do you even like girls if she is clean? Like, why wouldn't you want to see her come? The whole point of sex is watching your partner or making your partner get off completely, right? And give them a whole experience.
But
It
what
should
I
be
want to know
fun.
is what they do for foreplay then.
Some men just skip that whole part. But I mean,
Most
we all know
men
most
skip
men
that
skip
part.
that whole
Or
part.
some
But
men
that
just make
Foreplay is important, you guys. Foreplay is
Well,
important.
like, do you
Yeah, I
guys
know.
have
So-
do you guys have fun
Tasting
having
her past lovers is haram.
Here's the thing.
I love it.
From my standpoint, I want people to come back. So I want them, hey, did you enjoy your ride? Can I get 5
Only
stars?
here.
I want 5 stars, so they'll come back. Does that sound crazy?
I want
Does
my
that make me a
sticker.
beta male?
I want to.
Because I want to do that.
unless you don't want them to actually come back,
Right.
then
This is one of the most
Coming back.
divisive topics.
Ali, Christina,
in
whatever
the
your
Red
fucking
Hole.
name is, you agree with me, right? We want 5 stars. That's
I
what we
want
want.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Anything else?
So we already know. So we've established that oral sex is cheating, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you'll be happy to know that the CDC agrees with you because when you are counting notch count from here on out, the CDC counts oral sex as
oh my
part of
God,
the
that's
I would
crazy.
say
I can
any
buy
state
2 islands.
fluid.
Do you agree or disagree with the CDC's official papal bull about
You're
about
buying a G-Wagon now, right?
Yeah, I
You
was
were in
gonna
a
say.
C-Class
So,
before, but now you got a G-Wagon.
ladies, now we're going to adjust our purchasing power now. So if Hummers count, blowjobs count.
Well, houses, do you guys come back?
If oral sex counts, how much money do you have in your bank account for whatever you're going to buy with your body count?
What can you buy? Can you buy something significantly different from your body count? Anybody?
Do you see why I'm a real estate agent?
Oh my God, I just got that joke. That is fucking crazy. Yes. That is crazy. It is incredibly unprofessional, and you're probably going to make $1 million because of that joke.
I could not. I'm like, what on earth would possess the CDC to say, you know what, maybe blowjobs do count for body count, but they would be considered cheating, right?
Exchange of bodily fluids.
You can exchange.
I thought we were counting that from the beginning.
An STI. That's the reason why.
No, well, some
still
people don't. Some like it just P and V intercourse versus.
You can still get
What?
herpes from a blowjob.
That is true.
Still a person
I feel like it
too.
definitely
You know what I mean?
You
So
can
if
get
you're
throat
with him
cancer
or
too.
not,
Apparently,
still a
that
person.
was a
Really?
yes.
I don't believe
Well,
that.
I don't know why I said really. That's
By the way, that story comes up probably about every 4 or 5 years. Oh, I got a question for you. For those of you who have been in a relationship before, was a guy doing like domestic chores hot to you? Like doing the dishes, doing laundry?
That's foreplay.
If a guy ever did
Really?
anything
That's
like
foreplay,
that,
yeah.
I would so be beyond impressed because I will not clean. I will hire somebody to do the cleaning for me. I clean.
The Brandon Carter gambit.
I clean when I'm
You are
at work
so
and I
on
get
brand right now. You are so on brand.
I
Keep
clean
going.
when I'm at work and I get paid to clean. So when I'm at home, the last thing I want to do with time is spend it cleaning because to me that's a waste of time. I'd rather spend my money that I earn doing what I enjoy doing and have someone and delegate that task to them because
Listen,
it's
you've
not
given
my
all
work.
these
Brandon Carter
favors.
gambit.
You've given all these favors with that glory hole. I totally understand. At least someone should be willing to clean, right?
I mean, I'll cook the dishes.
That's
You
what
stick
I'm
them in the
saying.
dishwasher.
Yeah, that's cook the
I mean,
dishes.
I'll cook the food. You stick them in the dishwasher.
We are good to go. They will break those motherfuckers.
But I'm
We'll cook
Sicilian though, so I can really throw down in the
You can
kitchen.
throw down. That's right. Well, apparently you can throw down a lot.
A lot of things.
So wait,
Coming over.
Yes,
we
do
got
it.
one here. You said
I'll even infuse it and make it extra
domestic
special.
chores is chore play.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like if you're doing the laundry or the dishes or the vacuuming or organizing or whatever. I mean, like, you are guaranteed to get rewarded for that.
It's totally
Rewarded.
hot.
Rewarded.
It's totally
Yeah.
hot.
Good boy.
I like the yard work. The yard work.
Cookie
is what
time
turns
for
me
good
on. Mowing the
boys.
lawn.
Or
Totally
go
hot.
bow hunting. Bring me home a deer.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah, that's where I was going
different.
next.
And if you did
That's where I'm
something
going
without
next.
me having to ask, you just did it because you for whatever reason.
So if I'm
hot,
watching,
so
yeah.
hot. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna come up behind you and I'm gonna start stroking on your cock
There
and I'll
we
be
go.
like, yes, baby. We might have to take a
Chore
little time
play
out
is
from chores.
I might have to take a break. I might have to take a break from the glory hole to reward the guy for mowing the lawn.
Yeah, maybe
Because
just,
that's your reward. That's
Wait
your reward.
Wait a
that you
minute.
get.
It's my
He's doing the
reward.
dishes. Let me out of the cock box.
I'm getting
I
double
need to-
rewarded there.
What a reward. An incredible reward. there.
I'm registering that as a trademark. You can't steal cock box from me, okay? You heard it here first. Copyright.
I need to be in
I just need someone to build
23.
it for me who's gonna build me
Yes.
my fantasy.
I'm
That's what I want to
carpenter.
know.
I
I
can hook you up with.
really want to
Someone
know.
with
She's building. I'm
carpentry
joining.
Hey, Electra, I need you to screenshot all the messages you get
Oh my goodness.
tomorrow, specifically dealing with this topic.
Telling me somebody
What's
will
the topic? What's the topic?
Okay.
Party in a cock box.
So
Right?
with that
Everybody's
in mind,
coming.
With that in mind, so we just said domestic chores, laundry, changing the baby, doing dishes, whatever. Is it a qualifiable difference to see him out there splitting wood or doing chores outside the house as opposed to doing chores inside the house?
Still hot, and depending on
Hotter or not as hot, or
still hot,
comparatively
still hot. But you have to look at too where you live.
Well, you're a
So
dominatrix, so you want slaves anyway.
If you're living in some place to where you might have men that are going to work outdoors more, that's going to
With their
probably
shirts
be
off.
more, of like the attraction for women that's kind of in that area, Whereas somewhere out here, you're not going to really find a man splitting wood.
Mm-hmm.
But if I ever did, which I have met one in my life, it's hot.
Okay,
It's hot. They're still
wrenching
they're
on
still
cars.
they're still working.
He can do
you know?
mechanics. Is it different if he has like a more conventionally masculine skill set when it comes to chores, or a conventionally feminine skill set? Okay, Miss Summers, you may
He
opine.
needs to be able to lift me I cannot. He cannot be smaller than me. He has to lift me, be able to, maybe throw me over his shoulder.
Do you consider that a domestic chore?
Is it a turn on? Is it a turn on if he makes red pill content? Is that a turn on?
I mean, sir,
how much do you weigh?
Guys, here's a trick. Hold the girl up against the wall and you can lift them.
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Are you girls into like tradies, like guys who work in trades?
Yes.
So this is plumber, electrician, carpenter, cement layer.
That's the reason those guys in the future
money.
can see all this AI coming in and taking over people's jobs and writing and other pieces that can be replacing people. People can never replace people in terms of like trade jobs. That's always going to be here. People who can put in like physical manual labor that like almost better than a computer can, or at least right now in time.
But do you want to get with them?
Oh no!
I mean, red pill content is really
I don't
sexy,
care what you do.
No, I mean like
as long as you make time
like
for
tradies.
me.
I like that. I agree with that.
This is hard because I used to be the girl until now, and I'm not going to deny it, that I would be with the broke guy. I used to say that, and I used to be that girl.
Okay, so let me say this real quick.
Not now.
She's not lying. She has been with the broke guy. I'm not. For those of you who are going to write cap of the thing, I know her
He
boyfriends.
knows for a fact. And I always said, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Nope. Until years and years of us being together, I'm paying for a date night. I'm paying for the trips. I'm paying when I go shopping. I feel bad. I'm picking up, I need to grab him something from Louis Vuitton. I need to do this. Let me tell you, ladies, that shit adds up. It does.
He's a tax write-off. Ladies, listen. You make him an employee. You make him an employee of your company.
He had a job.
You write off his entire fucking salary.
He had a trade job, like all of you guys say that you would date. Everyone here, I dated that, and I fucking loved him, and it was hard. But now, after that, I will never date outside of my tax bracket. You just can't.
Adam Scott, nobody in this podcast will survive when the power goes out.
I will.
Okay, real quick.
will.
Actually, 100% she will. I have a question for you. Which MOS is the sexiest?
Oh, God, here we go.
Okay, that is tough. Okay, so when I first joined, I really was obsessed with like infantry guys.
So 11 Bravo.
Yeah, 11 Bravos. 18 series, of course, which for those that don't know what 18 series is, it's your special forces guys.
Yeah.
I like the really, really, really manly stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, by the way, the thing we were talking about before about with lower testosterone levels, I'll bet you if we looked at Division I college football players and guys who fought in special forces, we would notice they don't have lower testosterone levels. They have the same because they are closer to a survival scenario. Where we see lower testosterone levels is the gamer. He's the esports gamer.
Can you tell them what MOS means?
Military occupational specialty.
Yeah, which is in all three branches except for the Air Force. It's called AFSC. Well, I was a 11-2T, a 92 T1 KC-135 instructor navigator. So we have different ones than that. We don't have an MOS. All right, beautiful. Let me read my super chats. Can we do
I got one more. What?
Go ahead.
Time we got? No, go ahead. You read the super chat.
Marcellus Wallace, which by the way, he's the antagonist in for Pulp Fiction. If you guys didn't realize that,
and his soul is in a briefcase.
Played by Ving Rhames. He's the one who gets hooked up with the Gimp. You remember? Michael, in a previous podcast, you said it was common for women to constantly go after the same races. Will you ask the women what their type is? Do you guys have a type when it comes to race?
Hot.
Okay, go ahead.
Exotic.
Exotic. What's your?
Asian and Latino, but the last three have been white.
Okay, anybody else has a specific preference?
Middle Eastern or black.
Okay, anybody else?
I used to go for a lot of Middle Eastern guys, but I've deferred since a few things.
Sarah?
Guys too?
No, I haven't really
I would say
dated
someone a
any
little
black
bit
guys.
more exotic. I usually don't
Yeah,
really talk to
exotic, I
white
guess,
guys.
is a good
Okay,
word,
so
yeah.
this is funny.
Well, white guys.
So there's a book called Dataclysm by
Define exotic.
just
Not
maybe
white?
like Middle East, like not white.
Yeah, no,
Swarthy,
What's wrong with white guys
we're-
though? Like
Probably
white guys,
dark
there's
features,
nothing
like
wrong
We're in a
with white
country, it's a
guys.
country that's 68%
There's nothing wrong
white.
with them. It's just
That's
like
the
the
reason why you
sexual
guys are saying this.
attraction.
Okay,
Like, I don't know.
so there's a book called Dataclysm. It is written by the CTO of eHarmony, and he talked about men and women when they wrote on their dating profile whether or not they would date people of any race, because that's what everyone puts. They always put any race. And when they put any race, men would fuck any race.
I would.
Right. And when women put any race, they would fuck one race and they would stick to it the whole time. That's generally what would happen. That would frequently happen. There's a couple other things that were in there. Also, bisexual women on the platform would message men and they would message women. Bisexual men on the platform would only message men about 95% of the time. So there's just
Interesting.
yeah, I know it is really interesting, isn't it? Which would indicate that sexual preferences or heterosexuality for women is a spectrum, and for men it's binary or closer to binary. Does that make sense? Cool, awesome.
I got a follow. I got a follow up for that because I want to get a. We're gonna have a poll here.
Can I finish these super chats?
Yeah, but this goes in really well with that last
Go ahead,
one.
do it.
Ruby Rose says she likes guys that don't like her. And when they start to like her, she loses interest.
Oh, she likes the chase.
Do you guys have you been in that situation? Do you agree or disagree with that? Do you align with that?
I have been in that situation before.
Yeah?
Like once, but I don't know.
So if a guy likes you, if he doesn't like you and you're like way into him, but if he starts liking you, then it's like, you blew me off, you turned me on.
No. It just kind of depends. It depends too on how long it took. You know what I mean? So if I didn't like somebody and then all of a sudden they want to show interest, I'm like, well, you kind of lost your window because now I'm put off. You know what I mean? I'm put off by your actions. Mm-hmm. So you've had any opportunity and for whatever reason, different option, fine. That's your choice. But I'm no longer looking at you with that initial excitement that I had. So therefore, like, there's a billion people in this world. Bye.
But you're saying it seemed like they missed their opportunity with you, not like it was right away.
But then it changes something in my head to where like they can't go back. You know what I mean? Because I can't view them the same.
Isn't it funny how as men, just to let you guys know, for as men, we just look at Margot Robbie and she's just hot. She's not hot because she was rude or hot because she was nice. She's not hot because she's a millionaire or hot because she won an Academy Award. She woke up this morning and she was hot. We went to bed at night, she was hot. The next day she was hot. When we broke our leg, she was hot. When we were sick, she was hot. No matter what mood we were in, she was hot. When you ladies talk about men, do you guys see this like massive fucking wave of fluctuations? And you say things like, it's so sexy when he does stuff without me asking. Like we can read your fucking mind. It's so sexy.
They
so
want
crazy.
you to just get it.
You guys have no, again, I'm not trying to be a victim because I love being a man. But if you had any idea how hard it is to attract women right now, you guys would not believe it. They did this one experiment where they had women take over men's Tinder profiles, but the men were average-looking men. And the women were horrible. They were horrible at attracting women. They were sitting there sending these rude text messages like, hey, baby, you want to fuck? Because that's what they think men do. That's what they think men. It is so, you understand for us.
Wait, but women do that, though.
I agree.
On dating profiles,
they're terrible.
they have bad pictures, they have bad bio,
Agreed.
they communicate poorly, so they do that.
Agreed.
I'd rather have a man on a profile tell me that he just wants to fuck than try to tell me, oh no, I want to date, and then be like, no.
Isn't there a better way to say that though? Isn't there like a more classy than just saying it like that?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I get unsolicited dick pics all the time on Instagram.
I want all the dick pics. That's like the best.
You want that?
Yes,
I'm like,
I never get dick pics.
If I'm not into you, please don't send me a dick pic.
I think we all need to be quiet and listen to Electra one more time. You want what?
I want the dick pics.
Okay.
I don't get them. Out of all of my girlfriends.
All right, chat. You know what to do.
Yes, flood my DMs with dick pics.
Okay, raise your hand, ladies, if you agree with this idea of flooding your DMs with dick pics.
Yes, give them to me.
I literally have
like their baseball cards.
Flood me. I'm trying to find the hugest cock on the planet that I've ever seen in real life, and I cannot do that.
Ready, Kaylin, go ahead. What was it?
So I worked in the club, so I would always take phone numbers, and people would send me these things, and I have a rock hot collection. That's what I call it. It's literally an album on my phone of all these guys' different dicks, and a lot of industry guys too. I got you. And so yeah, like I have the weirdest ones too, and I mean I have some where I can ruin guys' lives with. So yes, I want your dick pic. I want that.
There's two things going on here. First of all, her saying that, wow, that's pretty crazy. The other thing is, because most women would not say yes to that, but the other thing is, guys, she saved them. She's got you. Do you know what it says up at the top whenever you send the dick pics? Go look on your phone, guys. When you get a photo from a girl, it'll say her name, sent from so and so. You can screenshot that. Those of you guys who are sending these things and think that nobody's going to see them, you are going, gentlemen, for the 500th time. Stop snitching on yourselves. I know you guys wanted to send dick pics.
There is an entire section in the player's handbook here
You can turn that feature off.
Again, one more time, guys.
pics.
Andrew Tate is in jail right now because of audio messages he left on WhatsApp. Stop snitching on yourselves. When you text a girl, imagine that what you're texting is going on the video board at Allegiant Stadium. Stop snitching on yourselves. Guys, it's just so crazy. It's like girls who don't even like you, and you're just throwing all this fucking value and needy creepiness at them.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Why do you think guys do that? Why do you think that they think in some way this chick's going to see my dick and she's going to go, you know what?
Because
I
they're
think
not
I really want to fuck that.
because they're not getting laid
Because
consistency and they want to know how they compare.
Ancestrally, it probably worked. To some extent, it probably worked. Yeah. There we go. All right, guys, here we go. Justin Reyes, ladies, what do you bring to the table that would interest a man long term? Long term. Ladies, what do you bring to the table that would interest a man?
And don't say you are the table, because that's
Sarah?
We hate that answer.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty traditional, like overall.
Okay.
I like cooking and cleaning. I actually love cooking.
Okay.
So I think that's really what I bring to the table. I'm also like really, really, really easygoing. Just chill, laid back.
I don't disagree with any of those. Go ahead,
that
Amy.
impression.
I guess I'm kind of like you too, where like, you know, I'm very traditional in a lot of ways, but also like, you know, if World War IV broke out or whatever, you know, I would definitely be someone
Slit
you'd
throats
wanna-
and change babies?
Yeah.
I gave
strap
you
up with.
M17. You can shoot expert.
M16, hell yeah.
Okay. No, you don't talk about the P-33, the new, the handgun?
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Okay, nice.
We need Jamie Villamore on this show.
Yes. Okay. Santana, what do you bring to the table for a relationship?
At 22 years old, what do you bring to the table?
Honestly, I'm definitely not boring. There's a lot I have to bring. I could have this conversation all day long.
I like that answer,
Yeah.
actually.
It's a pretty deep question. Like, if
It
you really
is,
want a
like-
real
and honestly,
answer,
like-
like, that's more time than I got.
Value
to explain.
added. What value added?
I'm a really
do you
deep
bring?
person too. I'm very loving, very loyal, and also a fucking freak.
There we go.
Yes.
So I don't think that
loyal,
shit-
but
shit
not
would-
monogamous.
Yeah.
Her up.
That is me.
I hate you. Shit would never get boring with me, that's for sure.
Okay.
Oh, Katie.
Katie Moore.
I can vouch for
Come
that.
on, Katie.
She knows.
Yes.
Bring it home,
Love it.
Katie. Come on.
I believe that
Land
the two of
plane.
you have seen each other's vaginas. I believe in my heart of hearts, I believe that is the truth. Go ahead, Katie Moore.
Love and blowjobs.
Love and blowjobs, okay?
Winner. Okay.
I want to argue
That's
with
like a new hit
Hold on,
movie.
Katie, I want to argue with you, but I can't, because that actually that sounds like actually a really good idea.
Katie, you know what? 70 some odd percent of guys, it's a requirement.
That's a requirement.
I mean, like I said, you could get much deeper,
Allie,
but-
what's
Easy answer.
okay?
For sure, loyalty. Almost to there's no fault if you're loyal to the right person at the end of the day. But also being a good partner and always being in someone's corner and supporting them.
That's
I'm
important.
always
girl.
going to be there.
That's important. My girlfriend
So-
would kill any of you if you did
Yes.
something to me. I'm not even
Allie's-
kidding.
She's one of the sweetest women I've ever met in my life.
There we
Just
go.
saying.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a
I
sweetheart.
vouch for you. I love
No,
you,
I-
Allie. I
because-
really do.
And she has
you're the
great
best.
tits.
Yes.
She does. I've seen them a lot of times, especially at work.
Hey, do you want to go to Florida?
Girl, yes. I'll go anywhere with you. I love you. Do you should we just date?
I mean,
I'm down.
Okay,
I eat
ready?
pussy.
Are all
So this is
women
a really
bisexual?
like in-depth answer for me. So just to make it short, we'll just say love blowjobs and loyalty is huge with me.
And I'm- and you're
what I
really
mean?
big into woodworking
but,
too, right?
But I'm hugely into sharing. So and I love women just as much as I do men.
Okay, so man, a guy
when
wants-
you're coming with
Yeah.
me, like we're probably picking up people.
A guy
together.
wants to be in a long-term relationship with you, and either one says, I want to be monogamous, or number two, I want to be polygynous. Would you be fine with either one of those?
I don't know the second word. Monogamous, no.
Okay, polygynous means no other men, just women.
No, I believe in loving, like, I believe in letting people be unapologetically them. Oh, it's going out.
Lost audio.
Oh, there it is. Oh, bring it back. Which one? Oh, it's at the table. Sorry.
Audio's coming through.
So I
No, we're
believe,
good. Guys, nobody kick anything under the table, please. Go
Don't
ahead.
touch anything.
I believe in letting people be unapologetically them.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, is anybody touching anything under the table?
There's a whole bunch of wires right here hanging.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak through.
Hey, guys, hopefully.
Guest star.
There we go. That's the one.
Much better. Thank you.
Yep.
George saves the day.
Take 3 and action.
George Carbone, everybody, give him a big round.
Your answer was electrifying.
Yeah, well, I believe in letting people be unapologetically them, no matter what that is, and I can love detached. So when you're my partner and you matter to me. You're somebody to me. Like, I want you, this is your journey in life. This is your life, your experience. I'm going to die one day, and everyone else you know is going to be dead too. Anyone's opinions you've ever cared about, they're going to be dead with their opinions. Like, if you live your life for you, that's what I want with my partner. If you are loyal to me, and you want to go fuck this hot girl that shows up, baby, go dick her down so good, you know, and then come home to me.
Listen.
Or if she likes women too, like, fucking tag me along. I eat pussy with the best of them. So
basically, we're all gonna die. So let's go suck dicks in the box.
have fun. live your life. Life is worth experiencing.
I
growth.
see some logic there.
I want to bring growth to
Apparently
whoever my partner
So
is.
you have no woodworking
So,
skills, then.
Okay.
I mean, I have a
construction.
bunch of skills.
Oh, okay.
Kaylin?
Well, I mean, I don't mean to sound conceited, but I'm not gonna lie. Everything that you all said, I love to cook and clean. I'm loyal. I have security. I own my own house. So it's like a man with me was already gonna. Don't have to work for it. We're already going to be established. I love giving massages. I love giving head. I got every one of my exes are still in my DMs from like even 10 years ago.
How many are we talking about?
My exes signed into my OnlyFans.
How many are we talking about?
I think, so I have about 5 major exes.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, they're all literally still texting me to this day. They're
You know what? I believe that. I absolutely believe that part.
Yeah.
Sav, what do you bring to the table long term?
Long term, I'm loyal.
Okay.
I'm loyal, so loyal. I'm honest. I'm almost so honest to a fault.
$7 million in real estate.
I realize a lot of people don't want the honesty. A lot of people are afraid of it. So that might
that's very
almost be
true.
a fault. You know, I'm a Sag. I say it like it is. I love the family dynamic. Something that people don't know about me is I love family. I want a husband. I want, I'm already a mother. So I want that dynamic.
Got it. Okay, nice. So here's the thing. What I am impressed, and I wonder if these shows are starting to have this effect. Do you know what the answers we usually get? What do you bring to the table? One girl goes, I am the table. We have girls say, you know what I bring to the table? I'm well-traveled. What the fuck are you talking about? Ladies, I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who's watching this, if you are looking for a husband and you have any photographs of you by yourself in Dubai, take those motherfuckers down immediately. Right now, like while we're on this podcast. We do not value your traveling experience. Women do not, this is my opinion, but a lot of people share this opinion, women don't need to date to get better at dating. Women don't need to date lots of men to get better at relationships, but men do. And does that sound like a double standard? Yes, it's a double standard because we are weird and awkward and we're not approached by multiple women when we're growing up. But as a woman, by the time you go through puberty to the time you're 22, you are approached by more men than I will be approached by human beings for my entire life. Do you understand? Women are more calibrated than men. You don't need to date a bunch of dudes to get better at dating. We as men kind of do. We need experience with women. If we don't have experience with women, we end up like Steven Crowder, getting divorced by our wives who we lost our virginity to, and not signing a prenup in the state of Texas because we're fucking stupid. That's what ends up happening because you don't know what you're doing. Does that make sense? So ladies, one more time. But by the way, none of you here, because none of you made these statements. The statements you made, you two have master's degrees. Neither of you said, I have a master's degree, I make this much money, I'm well-traveled, and I have a lot of experience dating. Those are the ones we get, and we're like, holy shit, do you really think men find that attractive? We don't find that attractive. And the other thing is, while I appreciate the fact that you have made all this money, that is your money. If we're dating, my money is our money. If we're dating, your money is your money. That is the way it works. Sorry, that is the way it works.
There's still perks with that, though. I've done a lot of nice things for a lot of exes. I mean, I bought one ex a brand new Hublot. That was a $25,000 watch.
Fuck yeah.
I bought vacations. Nice
I want to be your
I
boyfriend.
gotta be honest with you. You're probably changing some of these guys' minds right now.
But in some of those cases, it was reciprocated. I'm a giver. At the end of the day, I'm a mother. I like to do nice things for people, especially people that haven't got to experience the things in life that I've got.
Do you have kids?
You know what's funny? That's what men want to do. Like I love the fact that I just took my girl.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
She's like my age.
Yeah, she's in college. She actually just graduated getting her CNA certificate. And
We
she
could be
cares for the
best
elderly.
friends.
Anybody else have kids?
So she's amazing.
Kids.
That's
She
She's the
is
only
one of my
mommy.
biggest life
Let
accomplishments.
me explain something. Let me ask you something. Do you appreciate it when you can show a dude you're dating some cool luxury for the first time?
I do. You know what it is? But some men are not. reciprocate. Like, they
No.
can't reciprocate. Like,
Yeah, they can't
they're-
accept
They
it.
won't take it as a
yeah, because of their masculinity
I'll tell you what,
and their ego. Correct. I don't disagree with you.
You know, and sometimes they feel like inferior. They're just like
They
oh
can't
my God,
accept
they
it.
can't.
They can't accept it because it makes them feel
I
less
want you
than.
now. I want you to. I'm going to be a dumb man here, real quick. Okay, ladies, just bear with me. I took Kylie to Miami last week. I was the first time she'd ever been to Miami to go do anything. I love the fact that the first time she got to do these things, she was with me.
Aww.
Do you know what I don't like? When I go and meet my friends in Miami and I might be interested and be like, yeah, I've been to this place 15 times. You know what I love is this place over here. Oh, I know all the door guys at 11. We're just going to walk right in. I'm like, fuck, bro. Man, they for everybody. You can catch them at every party.
It's
They're
like-
going to be loyal, not for anybody.
When your girl runs up to the club and hugs all the security
Bro.
guys.
So I need you ladies to understand. It's not like, by the way, I have some female friends who do that. They run up to they walk me right into clubs, and I appreciate you. Like, again, the reasons why I appreciate you as a human being are not the reasons why your sexual market value is higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You come and help me support some of my charity events. That's helpful to me as a friend. But the things that make you would make you attractive as a woman are not the fact that you did $7 million in real estate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing. So here's another thing, ladies, you might not be aware of. For a man, the things that give us personal self-worth and the things that increase our sexual market value are the same things. For women, they are not. Madame Curie discovered radium, discovered radioactive decay, and then died from it. That doesn't make her husband's penis harder. Do you guys understand? The second PhD that a woman gets who cures cancer doesn't make her husband more turned on by her. The things that give you higher status are not the things that make you sexually attractive. But for men, they are. Is it a double standard? Fuck yes, it's a double standard because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women. That's the thing. One of the things we try to explore in this show. There is a double standard. It's not about being fair. It is about being biological and accurate. Go ahead.
Men say they want a bad bitch. What
Not
the
really.
hell is
No,
a
they
bad
don't.
bitch? Then
Absolutely.
what does that mean? Anyway,
I love you, Sav. No one is saying that. No men is saying that. No one is saying that. They're saying they want a fine girl. They're saying that girl looks bad, like she's fine. The rest of it that comes with it, the arguing and all that shit, nobody wants a girl like that. Nobody.
But I think there's also a lot of men out there that really appreciate women who are like smart and intelligent and like, you know,
For sure.
well put together.
And
Like,
two different things. I appreciate the fact that you're smart and intelligent, but it's different from sexual market value. What is it that we appreciate about you, and then what makes our literally penis harder? Those are two
Do you pass
different
the boner
things.
test?
And it's so hard because women will go get that second master's degree, do a TED talk, and be like, Lord, where's my man? And that's the thing. You're not doing the things that increase your sexual market value. You're doing
Blowjobs
things-
every day,
There we go.
ladies.
You're doing things that increase your personal.
Bring it to the table.
Your internal self-worth. Does that
Love
make
it
sense?
like it's your favorite
But-
lollipop.
Yeah. So I have a ton of female friends, and a lot of them do some wild, crazy shit. And I love hearing these stories, but I would never date them.
Right.
Because
And that's the different. When I was explaining like what is an alpha female, what is an alpha male, like I always run into this quite a bit because the same people who will say, oh, "There's no such thing as an alpha male. You use the wrong definition. You're not silverback gorillas." Right? No, and we're not actually trying to say that we are or anything like that. It's just a designation. However, the same people who want to deny whatever an alpha male is, they're the first ones to be like, "Oh, you're an alpha female? Yeah? Oh, you go, girl." Like they're happy to agree with that. But when I talk about like what's an alpha female, what's an alpha male, for whenever women like say I'm an alpha female, no, you're an alpha male with boobs and a vagina is what you are.
And we don't want to date the men that we are.
I really feel like I got to make a distinction here because what happens is like women get sold. Yes, we get sold on this idea that they're going to be a bad bitch, right? I want to be a baddie. I want to be the bad chick. It's like, it's like, no, that's not empowering. It does make you an alpha female in the sense that you're aping all of the behaviors and emulating all of the conventionally masculine aspects of a man, but you're putting it into a female package. A true alpha female looks like the hottest chick in a Playboy centerfold because when it comes to femininity, she outclasses all other women in the boner test that he was just talking about a minute ago. And that would make, from a conventionally feminine perspective, that would make a female the hottest chick, the most sexually available chick. That would make her an alpha female in a female sense as opposed to an alpha male sense. when women say I'm an alpha female, they usually think in terms of I can do the same things that an alpha male can, and therefore that makes me alpha. It doesn't.
Can that be the title of your next book?
I've actually
The
put that in
boner
a couple.
test?
Yeah, the boner test. I should do that.
AOC and Kamala
and cock
You
box.
passed the
Yes,
boner
boner test and
test.
cock box. Yes, right. Register trademark.
AOC and Kamala Harris are not alpha females. They're alpha males. That's what's so confusing.
With boobs and a
Right. Okay.
and a
Very good.
Like this. Can I change a tire? Yes, I was taught to. I grew up eating MREs, meals ready to eat by the astronauts. I can pitch it.
I can change an airplane
That's a
tire.
tang.
But do
That's
I
that
want
tang.
to? But let me say this: do I want to? No, I do believe in men doing the things that men do, and women. I do believe in these things. But I'll tell you, for the life of me, it's. No one asked me on a date. I'll tell you, it's fucking hard.
Okay, good. I'm glad we come to realization.
It's hard
Sab,
for me to
Sab,
date.
I deeply want you to be happy. That's why I'm glad you came
And
on the show.
the other side of this as well is that you also dropped
If
this
I
other
get mad-
question where you said, well, don't, some men want like a woman who's intelligent. Well, yeah, of course they do. And so whenever Mike is introducing Kylie, he is 45 and she is 21, and they go, wow, that's horrifying. What do they talk about? Don't you want someone who is more intelligent and can talk to you about astrophysics and Aristotelian philosophy and shit like that? And it's like, no, but it's not like she's retarded and she can't like string sentences together because she happens to be like 20 some odd years younger.
The
or whatever.
Razorbacks and the Longhorns. That's what we talk
Exactly.
about.
It's like they can have conversations. That doesn't make her like functionally illiterate or anything like that. It's just the fact that there's this age gap that for women, when they see an older man with a younger woman, they think that it's manipulation. She doesn't know any better. She doesn't know that he's really a 45-year-old creep. Right? No, it's not. It's just the fact that she can't get the guy who's a high value.
She's fully
guy.
aware I'm a 45-year-old
Yeah.
creep. All right, guys.
But what I'm saying is just as far as like the age difference and the intelligence side of things, it's not. You don't need somebody who has the same IQ if she's passing the boner test. If I'm correct.
So here we go. Next one, I got a $100 super chat from
Hey,
Hassan.
damn man, you're getting the love tonight.
On average, how many times a day does a man approach this panel of women? We all know Rolo gets the most attention of everyone here. And extrapolate to a month. What would a man be like if he got that amount of attention? So that's actually a great question. The amount of times you guys get approached in a month. Let's just skip to that. Katie, what do you think?
Definitely have a big fucking head on his shoulders. Like
No. How many times do you get approached a month?
Oh, how many times do I get approached?
Yeah.
You're talking about in real life?
Like nowadays in real life, not
Hey,
that
you know what? We're
often.
gonna just for sake of this, we're gonna call sliding in your DMs an approach. How many times?
Like, it can be over like 100 times a day.
They make a living off of guys
Yeah,
like
100
sliding
times a
into their
day.
DMs.
Santana?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. I also work in a strip club,
Yeah,
so
that
it's
does kind
really
of
hard
skew it.
to
Amy?
measure that. Yeah.
I like twice a month, 3 times a month. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not I'm not a professional
Sarah?
online.
Is it refreshing to you, like when a guy comes up and asks you out? Like it's like, oh wow, this guy actually had the balls to actually come.
Yeah,
up
I actually have a lot of respect for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If somebody has the balls to come up to me, yeah.
Amy, how tall are you?
5'9".
Okay. Sarah,
I guess online and in real life, maybe 100 times a month, 200.
what do you think?
Honestly, mine's definitely online, and I don't even acknowledge it half the time, or really any of the time. So 0 to me, I guess. I don't know.
All right, Combat Barbie. I'm sorry, my bad. I love you, Rihanna. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I love you.
Yeah, sorry.
And no.
Sorry, I can't. My glasses are off. I thought. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty poisonous. So, so I get approached like a lot. Like even when I'm with my man, I'll have women come up to me and he'll be like, "Damn, you just pulled a bitch," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Are you doing that now? Is that a current thing you're doing?
yeah," because I like to watch them fuck girls. Like, so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Wait, so you have 5 exes, and then the current boyfriend, he does this.
Okay, so yeah, something like that. But yeah, I like to pull girls. I like to be there, and if I have him on my side and I see a hot one, it's like, ooh, I like to do that. So I get hit on, and then like I don't know.
What an
Yeah, I get-
what an incredibly novel idea. I've never heard of anything like that. All right, what about you?
Honestly,
I
I don't get hit on a lot. Men my whole life, or even guys that I've dated, always assume because I'm working at the bar, people are constantly hitting on me, and it's not like that. Like, there'll be many, many shifts that I'll work, and not a single anything from anyone. Now, somebody can tell me I'm beautiful or one of the hottest girls they've ever seen, but that to me is not hitting on me. That's just you drinking, had 5 or 6 drinks, I'm pouring them so I know they're strong, and now you're just telling me what you're seeing in front of you, because I hear you say the same thing to the girl sitting down at the corner
Yeah.
of the bar, too.
Spicy
you know,
girl.
so as far as, like, I've been bartending at the establishment I'm at now for about 7 years. I can honestly say it's probably less than a dozen times in those 7 years that people have been like, I want to take you out. Like, can I get your number? So
Spicy Alley Summer Christina's whatever your name is today.
Yeah.
So what? How many times do you think you get approached?
I get approached by both men and women, and I have a very skewed number, I think, as well. I get approached probably 200 to 300 times per month at least.
But you work in a particular field.
Yeah, without even including that environment between my DMs and in real life. Like today at the pool, I had a woman walk up to me while I was with my friends and be like, "You're absolutely gorgeous." Like you give another man that sense of like that ego boost too much, whether it's coming from different sexes. Like they're gonna think they're the shit, when really you're mediocre. You're a level of mediocrity that doesn't even deserve it. And it's the same way when girls are probably like pumping up their friends on Instagram, being like, "Go, bitch! Like you're the fire!" Like, da, 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 da.
Wait, I'm jealous. Tell her you're taken. What the fuck?
See, average women don't want to have.
Okay,
but it's true. It's a lot. It's a lot.
The thing is, his question is, what would this do to men? And the answer, just quick answer, is it would probably blow up our egos to the point. And we can see examples of this when you see movie stars. If you guys have ever seen, if any of you have ever dated a professional athlete or a musical artist or some kind of celebrity, you notice like they don't call back when they say they're going to, like they're just harder to deal with. That's what would happen to men if they got that level of attention, I think. Next one, I got a $50 super chat from Katie. I'm single, no kids. Again, guys, I am not going to have to go on OnlyFans. I'm not going to have to go on OnlyFans because
you're buying tonight at Zook.
Katie, I'm single, no kids. I was in the Marines for 10 years. I do IT, sysadmin, and I drive a base model Porsche Cayenne. Okay, I don't know why you sent this, but I do appreciate it. I think this is for Katie, though.
Oh, so, yeah, Katie, he's hitting on you. He drives a Porsche.
Katie, so what I'd like
Cayenne,
you to Enigmatic Nomad.
That's a mom's car.
You ain't gonna make it.
Look in the chat. Hey, look in the description, and you can find Katie's IG. And I'm really interested in how this all works out.
DM her.
There we go. I got a $20 super chat
from
Justin Ruiz.
That's a mom SUV.
I'm aware of my place in the world right now. I used to be the man in high school. Then through the pandemic, I became obese while learning psychology, sales, options, trading, successful. And I'm tired of being a bitch. I want to join MOA or wait, bro. I mean, obviously, I'm going to tell you to join
Use
MOA.
my link.
Use his promo code.
Use my link.
Use some promo code and welcome to the Fight Club, motherfucker. Yeah, Katie's got a link. By the way, all you ladies are welcome to get a link. We pay like 10% commissions on anybody who sells my course, and it's you make a lot of money from this. What's it? Myron sold a 20K course just recently. Yeah, and that's it for me. My super chats.
Okay, let's see yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read this. Is Glenn Lawrence. Thanks, Glenn. Ruth and Boaz from the Old Testament had a 40-year age gap in the Bible. Just preaching, LOL, haha. Thank you very much, Glenn Lawrence. My next question was this: and like when we were, I think we were in, where were we at? I think we were on Fresh and Fit when we asked this question. But like we kind of polled the girls on the show and asked them to sort of like guess our ages. And boy, someone said 48, and I felt really flattered.
Oh, you want to do that now?
Yeah, we can. We can, but maybe we'll start with that. But I also wanted to sort of go around the table here and like ask, like, what's the youngest you would go, and what is the oldest guy you would go with? Now, I have a reason. There's a method to my madness here because I was at the Babes in Toyland with you in Miami recently, and like I'm at a point right now where in my career, just in my life in general, it's like where I don't really look at age so much, I don't look at race so much. I'm just going work with whoever I work with, and it might be somebody who's 21, and it might be with somebody who's actually 65. So I don't really think of it in those terms. I think maybe that's like an old sort of like 20th century way of thinking. So I wanted to go around the table here real quickly and say, like, what's the youngest guy you would consider for a relationship, and what's the oldest you would consider for a relationship?
But if you don't want a relationship, we'll just go
if
with
you
age.
don't, yeah, if you do, yeah, you can just go with age as far as like who
Sarah?
Sarah.
I guess maybe 30, 32, as long as he was like done.
32 is the oldest.
Youngest.
Oh, youngest. Okay.
Jesus, no. As long as he was like done partying or whatever, and then I would say 50.
What if he wants to party with you and he doesn't drink?
I don't like partying.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 33, so probably like 34, 35 youngest.
Oldest.
And then oldest, probably like 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really depends on the maturity. My last guy I dated was 45, actually.
By maturity, you mean how rich he is?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No,
my bad. Sorry.
I mean, that's not like a bad thing either. But like, honestly, for 22, I feel like I'm very deep and I'm very like, I don't know, just.
You are. You're a little bit
And
more aware.
you know me, yeah. Like so.
I believe the two of you have seen each other's vaginas.
You should ask what else we've done
Confirm.
together.
Okay.
I typically like older guys. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, I don't want a grandpa whose dick doesn't work, but I'm not really like knocking.
There's shots for that.
There's pills for that too.
Go ahead, Katie.
I would never date a guy younger than me or even my age because
Wait, how old are you again?
I'm 25.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like men don't really come into their own and like into reaching maturity until I would say 30.
And men don't become men until they're 30.
Yeah, and then I would say the oldest is probably around 50 as well. Like, I don't know. Like you said, I don't want to date an old man.
Good thing I'm 48.
Allie Summers, what's your range?
Probably 26, 27, all the way up, and I want to say mid 50s because that salt and pepper George Clooney look isn't too bad looking sometimes.
It's kind of hot. It's kind of hot.
But
Well, unfortunately, he's taken.
in the maturity, yeah.
No salt, no salt and pepper over here.
I don't really have like an
Yeah.
age high or low. It's just going to be based upon are you attractive and how do you treat me. So when you're in my presence, do you treat me like a queen? Because I'm going to treat you like a king. So equal energy exchange.
So a 19-year-old dude treats you like a queen. You're good at that.
I mean, if he does, I'm not trying to date anyone. So we're just.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting qualifier. If you're not interested in long-term monogamy, then it wouldn't.
I like consistency.
Yeah.
So if you're a great person and you treat me well, you can be in my life as long as you want to be in my life. I have an open door, because when you're ready to leave or you meet somebody, then I wish you the best of luck.
Free
like
love, baby.
I love detached.
Kaylin Marie.
So I don't really care about the age. I think as long as I get a vibe with you and I like you. But I mean, I've dated younger than me. I've dated older. But I definitely could see myself being like an old rich lady dating a young guy one day, probably.
Doesn't that seem fun? That seems fun for everyone, doesn't it? It seems so fun.
I can see that.
Seems like someone should make porn about that. I don't know what that would look like. What do you think, boss?
I definitely want an emotional, mature man. I want someone who's successful, who's goal-oriented and motivated and knows what they want out of life and how to treat a woman.
Age range.
How old would that person be on average?
Some men mature sooner than others. Definitely I want to date anyone younger than 35. And I don't think I would want to date anyone older than 55.
Nice.
Well done. Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because Dr. Jordan Peterson has been on a hot tirade about how guys who are in 45, by the way, about 45 to 50, to our age range, are immature children for not acting our age and growing up and being mature enough to date women that are in an acceptable range. Now, of course, he's probably mouthing off because it's in his best interest to do so.
Peter Pan syndrome.
So my next question was, if you see a guy who's like, say, 45, 50 years old and he's in the club, and do you look at this guy as if he is in some way the old guy in the club? Like, is he like immature? Like, does it necessarily matter to you? Does it freak you out?
I guess it kind of depends on what your mission is, right? In life, like what your goal is. Like, why are you in the club all the time? Are you in there because you have nothing else better to do?
Maybe not the club, because I'm using club as sort of in a general sense, but like, I mean, he's
where he seems a little bit out of place, like he's older.
Well, no, he's dating younger than his range and is not, quote unquote, like what is acting your age, really.
So a good example is like if you're alone in the club and you're that guy.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
but if
creepy.
you're with like 5 other women and then like
Or
Michael,
men.
good example, walks into every club with like 6 girls.
I think
Do you think
everything's
being
circumstantial.
like 45 in the club should the guy should feel embarrassed to be?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I would say no.
Your number is just a number. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you feel? Like, my number and how I feel, I'm like, wait, they don't match up.
Thanks,
you know,
guys.
so.
I mean, like,
I
Thanks
don't
so
match
much,
up
guys.
with you.
Thank you.
I don't ever like to be overgeneralized in anything because not everybody fits in one box.
You know what this
either.
is?
100%.
These girls don't host their own podcast. It's like Mia Khalifa and George Peterson host their own podcast, so they want to prescribe shit for the entire planet. And these girls are like, hey, do whatever the fuck you want. Because that's how normal people are.
Right.
Also, I think that the normal man doesn't find his true identity till he's about 40. After college, after success, after becoming who they want, what they went to school for, and then you take a few years into that, becoming successful, then they want to go celebrate.
Can I add in here too?
Sure.
I think most people, and I don't even want to classify it as men or women here, most people do not know what they want in life or their goal in life. So one of my most important questions to me when it comes to just me and my Bumble dating is like, what's your goal? You know what I mean? And the honest answer or not the honest answer, the majority answer that I receive is, oh, I want to be successful. Well, duh, everyone wants to be successful. Let's break it down even further. Define to me what success means to you. And most people cannot do that. And so what that tells me is that you haven't spent enough time trying new things and collecting experiences and learning about yourself to know what you like or don't like to be able to say, which is why you can't even answer what should be a simple question.
That's why I was going to ask, is there such a thing as like act your age?
Isn't that just used as like...
I think so too. Well, now I want to throw this one out because this was a really good chat. The guy's like, I'm going to go to the club this summer, buy a table, bottle service with 10 hotties, and broke 21-year-old nerds are going to be seething. It's going to be great.
That's so stupid.
That it is stupid, and I'll tell you what. I'm sorry. I mean, he probably was. I don't know if he meant to be stupid.
No, he's trolling me.
But he's probably trolling you. But here's the thing. But that's not the win you think it is, because this is my take on this: is that when guys get to a certain level of success, as you were saying before, you got to be 30 years old to be a man, right? You guys don't become men until they're 30, right? Well, the problem with that is when you got a guy who is successful, makes a lot of money, is attractive. Has really sort of, come into his own, and maybe he is 45 years old. If that guy can go back and get women in their 30s and in their 20s, that guy is now the apex predator when it comes to intrasexual competition. So the younger guys who feel like they ought to be getting the girls who are like within their age demographics, suddenly 45-year-old guy comes in, swoops the girls that you think belong to you because hey, you're an old man. What are you going to talk to them about? Because you're at this stage in life and they're at this stage in life. I think that when we get into, since we're in the social media age right now, I think those 20th century ideals with respect to like act your age are just they're starting to become more and more blurred right now. But the old instinct of this guy's going to come in, he's got more money than I do, he's got more status than I do, he's still in good shape. Guys like this shouldn't be on TRT because that's an unfair advantage, and I can't get on that. Now he can use this medical treatment so that he's more masculine than I do, and he's got more resources, he's more powerful than I am, and he's got access to a lot of bitches.
So
how many guys do you know in their early 20s that even have like proper facial hair?
That's why.
So here's the thing: you don't have pube one between your legs. So now it feels to me like none of you are making this argument, but often we hear this argument from women, and the argument is, "You're 45. Why don't you settle down?" And then the other thing is, "Why don't you settle down with a woman who's older, like around your age?" And then the third one is, "Why don't you settle down with someone who's around your age who has a kid?" And then the answer is this, right? You're not interested in being a long-term monogamous relationship at 22, are you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if the right person came along, maybe.
Sure.
I was at your age.
The rest of you at 20, no, you were. The rest of you at 22, who here was not interested in a long-term, you were interested in having some fucking fun when you were 22 to 24. Anybody?
I was the opposite.
Anybody?
I was in a relationship.
I was married.
You were married? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Were you?
No, I was having fun at 22.
You're having fun at 22.
I was in Afghanistan at 22.
Yeah, that's not a lot of fun, but there were a lot of dudes, and there were hot dudes there. Katie?
I mean, I will say when I was younger and I pictured my life at 22, I thought I would be like married, settling down. But now that I've been 22, hell no. I was having fun the whole time.
So let me express this to you. What's happened is when you guys are at your, now these numbers have changed somewhat because of plastic surgery and women are taking care of their bodies longer. But in general, men swipe right the most between the ages of 23 and 25 for women. That's when they're at their peak. So I want you to consider at 23 to 25, you've been gifted $1 million, okay? And the men, we're just kind of losers at 23 to 25. We were at the top of the totem pole when we were in high school, then we're at the bottom in college, then we graduate from college and we're at the bottom at our work. Does that make sense? So we don't have $1 million. By the time we get to 38, 40, 45, we have a literal $1 million, okay? That's one of the things we've done. And so now you guys at 22 are going on a yacht, and we guys at 45 are going on the same yacht. We had to work a lot harder for a lot longer to get on that same yacht that you're on. When you guys were in your early 20s, not some of you, but not all of you, but some of you were not interested in monogamy. But for some reason, we're being guilted because we're not interested in monogamy, we had to work for our $1 million and you guys were gifted it. Does that make sense? I'm not saying you guys don't work for a living. I'm saying you guys know when you're young and hot, there's a lot going your way and you didn't work for it. You're just kind of young and hot. Does that make sense? And so that's where a lot of men are being shamed, including by Jordan Peterson, because that kind of fits with his narrative. They're kind of shaming men. And I'm like, no, wait a second. When they were in their, when I was 23 and I would talk to a hot girl who was 23, she would not piss on me if I was on fire. Now it's funny because we're both 45 and now I'm not interested in her anymore. And when I want to date someone who's 23, the problem is you weren't interested in monogamy when I was younger. Now I'm supposed to be interested in monogamy when I did all this work. That's the problem. Does that make sense?
I think the thing I like about Jordan Peterson, though, is like he does have like the whole family values dynamic, and I want that. I want the family values. You know, like I want. I want. I'm 33. I'm not 23.
The brochure looks good. Put it that way. The advertising looks good.
That's what I want.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that the brochure that is Jordan Peterson looks good, but it's like it is impractical, and I'll tell you why. Because I was just looking at this one here. Is that you can't possibly tell a guy that just started hitting his stride at 30 years old to man up and settle down at that age, especially when he's just coming into his own, right? So. It's not just women who are sending this message to guys who are like in their 30s, say, you know, at your age kind of thing. It's also guys.
Can I say something
who don't fuck, who are telling guys who are just coming into their own, you need to act responsibly and do your duty kind of thing. Go ahead.
See, I was going to say that. I mean, that makes sense to me logistically. Like it can happen. It has happened. Men versus women, just in general, like. Women, if something happens to us or we're upset, we can always be coddled. There's always somebody that we can go to where they can wrap our arms around us. Now, when it comes to men, when men are having that downtime, because I feel like men, as they grow up, have always kind of been taught to kind of suppress their emotions. Like, who the fuck do men have that they can turn to when they need somebody to almost coddle them? Because otherwise, they're looked at as less than. Does that make sense? Or not as manly. But realistically, they're human and they have emotions too. Men don't really have a place where they can go for that. They don't have somebody that like it'd be like, oh yeah, I'll talk to you. Yeah, they can talk to a guy friend. Not the same though.
So,
you know what I mean?
They're gonna be like, this guy is a little bitch. Like
like they automatically get that. They're not man enough because they have.
I agree with you halfway. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Because I know all my exes would cry and like have men to go to and cry too.
Right. Well, but see, women put men's emotions in a female box. Okay, because men and women, our brains are fundamentally different. We do not this is like MRI scan, like hardcore science fact. Men do not process emotion the same way that women do. When men get emotional, they default to anger. When women get emotional, they default to tears. So that's just a fundamental, easy to observe.
Because aren't some guys taught that if they cry,
it's not about
they're going
teaching.
to be less.
Men fundamentally
society.
lack. It's not society. Men fundamentally lack the hardware to emote like a woman will emote. And that's the problem, is we try to force fit men's emotions into the female way of thinking. So if a man doesn't cry at the end of fucking Titanic, then he must be emotionally stunted.
Right, but what if I'm talking about, like, what if the men do cry? Like, what if that is their outlet?
You know what I mean? Because there are people like that. Everyone is different. It's usually conditioning because the boy who becomes the man is taught to emote like a woman. Yes, you can condition a boy to do that because he's rewarded for he can cry on demand and he's rewarded for crying on demand. Then yes, you're going to get that guy.
So an example is Jordan Peterson. You guys have seen him cry several times online. One of my favorite coaches of all time.
I like him.
One of my favorite coaches of all time is Dick Vermeil.
Because he's off his meds.
Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil took the Eagles to the Super Bowl in 1980, and then he won the Super Bowl with the Rams in 1999. And he cried every time. He would cry all the time. But the thing is, Dick Vermeil was a Super Bowl winning coach crying, and Jordan Peterson is a multimillionaire, like published author crying. If you didn't know who Jordan Peterson was and you just watched him cry without context, you would be like, "Who is this bitch?" Because here's the funny thing. It's easy to do these things where you show sensitivity and you show all this, not weakness, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but vulnerability. You're showing all this vulnerability. When you're showing these things, it's one thing to do it when you have status. If you are a regular dude, if you're Machine Gun Kelly and you wear a pink dress, you're Machine Gun Kelly in a pink dress. You're a superstar wearing a pink dress. If you're an average dude wearing a pink dress, you're a fucking weirdo. And that's where we're getting these things confused when we start telling men to be more vulnerable and to be more sensitive. If you don't have the status in order to do that, they are going to fucking laugh at you. And I think it's bad advice for women to tell men, hey, you need to be more vulnerable like early on in the relationship. No, you don't. Men are being taught to be plenty vulnerable. Tekashi 6ix9ine is snitching to the feds. Like Machine Gun Kelly is wearing a pink dress. We're taught to be plenty vulnerable. I think it is a mistake, and I think what happens is over time, she's the mother of your children, and you had to put a dog down. That's a time to cry. That's your wife. That's the mother of your children. You had to put a dog. That's okay. It's this first date shit where we're being taught men need to be more sensitive. No, the fuck you don't. You don't need to be sensitive in the beginning.
Less sensitive.
You need to you need to earn that right to be sensitive in front of your woman. That's what I think. I think that's a better thing. And what we're doing is uncontextually having dudes go out there and trying to be sensitive. And you see, like again, when you see movie stars doing things that are hyper feminine, we mistake that and we think all men should be doing that. No, those are movie stars. They can do that. They can get away with it. One more time, gentlemen, anybody who's listening to that, who you've never joined MOA or you're interested in, you cannot give value unless you have value. And these men are trying to give value when these women don't know who they are. Just imagine if some dude starts hitching you up Santana on your DMs and he's just telling you his whole fucking life story and like he's a victim and how his girlfriend cheated on him.
It's happened.
Yeah, but
literally the other day, he's like, my baby mama this, my baby mama that.
Does
I'm
that
like,
make you more attracted to him?
I was laughing my ass off at it. I was like,
Again,
I don't even know you like that.
A man with no value to you has chosen to be vulnerable. That is bad game. That is bad game.
It just looks like you're playing victim at that point if you don't know me.
Earn the right to be sensitive in front of women, okay? Or just don't be sensitive.
Tell them there's a difference between being compassionate and sensitive.
Yes, and there's a big difference between being like emotional because something bad happened and being a fucking victim.
Because men will use vulnerability and they will use emotionalism as a form of game. So when you're teaching boys that you need to be more emotionally expressive, you need to emote more like a woman, what will guys do? They will compete with other guys to be the most emotionalist motherfucker that they could possibly be.
I hate Andrew Tate. I hate Andrew Tate. He's so bad. We should cancel him.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Listen to him?
So the more that they can become, like the more they can identify with the feminine, and guys will compete with other guys to be the most feminine because they think that is what's going to make them most successful. They're going to get the reward of intimacy from women if they act more like women. The problem is,
if guys are feminine like that, I fuck them in the ass.
Yeah. So the pegging continues. You put you in the fucking box.
Are we done? I'm ready to go to sleep.
But no, I was going to say. So as far as the vulnerability side of things, because some guys will say, well, women really like a vulnerable side. Yes, if your primary predominant character is being a stoic alpha male, imagine the most like masculine stoic guy you can possibly imagine. A guy looks like The Rock, and all you see is one single tear drops down his face,
and then he sucks it back up.
Yeah. Like women want to think that they're the only ones that can bring that out of a guy who's like that.
I'll drink The Rock's tears.
Exactly. See,
he was just
Jason
asking me about
Momoa.
you.
Good. Tell him I'm available.
I'll let you cry my
Nice. I got 2 super chats.
Okay, I got one.
Real quick.
Then we got it.
This one is, I don't know what currency this is, but it's 440 something. It is Lionheart Richard. Mike, about GFBJ. I think about girlfriend blowjob. I don't know. Men considering it treachery. You guys know you have plenty of characters to write complete sentences in these super chats.
If English is your second language, you might want to use Grammarly.
Please use Grammarly if English is not your first language, guys. Men consider it treachery. When a girlfriend does it to another man, she submitted to him. Sex act for women is ultimate submission. Girls disqualify in Gen. If she BJ, that man qualified through a lifetime. Okay, yes, he's saying that when a woman submits to a man through oral sex, then that I get what you're saying.
Well, because you think about it this way, it's like for a woman to be comfortable enough to like give a Hummer to a guy, there has to be something that's going on right there.
I've done a lot. 3 Digits gave a $10 super chat. I've done a lot of ish on camera.
Like
crying.
the dick just has to get hard.
Yeah. I've done a lot of ish on camera. Crying isn't one of them. Boom, get him, Uncle Rollo. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. I got Mark Walks here, and this is a great one. Solid panel, Rollo and Mike. I appreciate the honesty from your panelists, and you both maintaining civil discussion, unlike the other shows on YouTube. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, you are the man. I think that's a good one to end on.
Hold on. Apparently, I have 2 more.
Oh, you got one. Okay.
2 more. Hey, Michael, 8 months sober from alcohol. I love EDM music and
Bravo.
clothing. How do you party without drinking? Just came back from EDC and I need some tips. So I went to EDC. I went to EDC and I didn't do any drugs, and I'm going out tonight and not drinking. So here's the thing, man. For me, one of the things I will tell you is when I go to a club, I actually make you. And Ali will attest to this, and Katie will attest to this. I have a mission when I go to a club. I go to a club to create content. I create so much content at a club with my phone, I can write off me going to a club. Right? That's the way you should choose it. You should go to a club, and if you're confused about how that works, in MOA we talk about the connector, suggester, and content creator. Those are things you should be. I go to a club, I don't go to relax. I go there on a mission, and then I leave after a certain amount of time. Most of the time, when I go to a club, I'm usually there for less than 45 minutes. So I go in and then I get out. For me, when I go to a club, there's a purpose behind it. Doing coke, staying at after hours, and drinking all night is not a fucking purpose. Just don't do that.
I drug you to after hours
when
I first met you. When I first met him at Light.
In June of 2011, she drugged me to
I did. And he stayed out all night.
Yes.
I go to clubs to see the band.
Yeah. 3-digit $10 super chat. My hole is sacred, untouched, and untouched, gentlemen. Good job, bro. And then I have a $50.
You're next in the box.
I have a $50 super chat from Aaron Blue. Thank you, Aaron Blue. And it has nothing written on there. I appreciate it, Aaron Blue. Thank you so much.
Bravo.
Again, guys, one more time. Any of you guys who are watching this, who are interested in checking out the free course that we're giving out, message me on Instagram and I'll give you access to our Skool server. Yeah. We use Skool instead of Discord. It's kind of an upgrade from Discord. Make sure you check us out. When you do that, I'm going to give you access to the Skool server. All those books everyone on the super chat's asking for, all those 7 evolutionary psychology books, those are in the Skool server. People who want the free course for MOA, it's going to take you like a week to get through the free course. Just imagine how much the paid course is. It's 114 modules. Just make sure you go and message me on Instagram, and I'll give you access to the free Skool server. Again, my course is 114 modules long. There's 2,000 hours of content, plus you get 11 hours of new content every week from me. This is a labor of love. I could easily do less work, but I don't want to. I want to do this forever. Rowan?
Yes, sir. I am presently working on 2 different books right now, which I might put into one. No, it will not be called... Well, what did you want me to title it? I forgot the name now.
The blowjob, something about blowjob.
Love and blowjob.
You should do a book
Something
called
about
Why Women Deserve the Same.
The same, yes. Women deserve more. Yeah, no. I am, let's see, I will be on Rule 0 on Saturday morning. That will be 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I believe it is our good friend Aaron Clary is hosting this week.
Nice.
So I'll be on that. My show will return on Sunday, finally, after 2 weeks off, courtesy of going to Miami and doing all these other crazy shit. And that will be at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. It is The Rational Male, but you already knew that because you're watching my show right now on this show. So, and then what else do we have? As far as MOA is concerned, I am occasionally in on your Zoom calls as well. So yeah. I'm actually participating. I don't know if I'm an official instructor yet, but I am a guest instructor now and then. I just do Q&A.
For sure.
So, but if you want to get involved with Men of Action, it is the second link down in the description right there. And then again, last but not least, please subscribe to the Access Vegas channel on YouTube. I need to get it up above 1,000.
There's a big one here. Okay. Thank you for your work, fellas. I got a $10 super chat from Dark Horse. Thank you for your work, fellas. Can you please share your thoughts on MLD Exchange and exit from the Saucecast the other day?
I saw that, and I'll probably talk about that, and I'll probably talk about the Alba and Preach video as well as far as MLD is concerned. I'll do that on Sunday, but I did watch that. I think it would be described as let's see. I think he got caught with his pants down, to be quite honest with you. Yes, but I think the walking off stage was more because he had a hard out at 6 p.m. and so he was just leaving, and it was just expedient. And I think probably just leaving at the time he did, it kind of looked a little bad, but I think he was just leaving because of logistics.
Another super chat from Lionheart. I don't know what this currency is, but it's 110 of them. He said, "I love you, Rolo and Mike. You guys rock.
Too, man.
Awesome, man. We really appreciate that.
I'm gonna show some emotion.
Man, you guys are. Man, I'm gonna be able to afford guacamole this week. I appreciate that. The Chipotle with the guac this week.
Table side. Ooh, step it up.
You know what I'm saying? That's incredible, man.
Keeping jalapenos on
keeping your boy off showing feet pics on fucking OnlyFans. I appreciate that shit.
No dick pics, please. No. That's what it was. Like no dick pics or something.
All right, ladies. So you guys want to share your IGs real quick so we can get you guys dick pics later on.
Last words.
Last words. Okay, ready? Last words. What do you have any last words, or do you have any questions for us?
I don't have any questions. No.
What did you think about the show?
I think it's an amazing show. I always support you. I love you so much, more than ever. And Rolo's freaking awesome as well.
As always.
Follow my Instagram, savannahstorm.tv. Also, my OnlyFans. Shit, I don't even know my OnlyFans, but there is a link in my Instagram. So click it.
There you go. Beautiful.
You won't be disappointed. It's all kinds of kinky stuff.
Kayla Marie.
Well, hey, so Kayla Marie, yeah, you can find me on Pretty Poisonous on Instagram, and Kayla Marie on OnlyFans. So yeah, find me.
Nice. Where can we, with the green door, where can we find you?
Yes, right. I have a really funny story about the green door too.
Real quick.
ElectraBarbie.com
Hey,
or IG ElectraBarbie 2.0.
Real quick. My girlfriend told me to ask you about organized gangbangs.
Oh my god, I was literally one of my friends was literally pitching this to me in the car today, and he was like, "We should do this," and I was like, men want to participate.
Yes, I was telling her I want to have a party where I invite all my men that are in my life. They know what a freak I am, so this would not surprise them if I just invited them all to a party at the house and I'd be like, surprise.
Okay, that's incredible.
You guys just walked into my gangbang.
Would you like the guys?
And they would be all like, what? But I'd be like, well, come on, you guys. You all know me.
Electra.
You all know I'm wild.
Electra, would you like the guys in the chat to submit on Instagram to come to your party? Your organized gangbang party?
Do it on my website.
Okay, yeah, put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to do that. One more thing, Aaron Blue gave me another $50 super chat. Hey Rolo, now that the second episode of Dr. Phil has aired, are you going to put up the after action report back up?
I will. I'm going to actually probably do a dedicated show about Dr. Phil as soon as he goes off the air, because that's when the NDA ceases. So I will probably do it once he is officially the show is canceled.
Beautiful. Allie Summers.
Yes, I've been on Dr. Phil twice.
Hi, name is Allie Summers. I go by Summer, Allison, Christina, Morgan, many names, and you can find me on Instagram at Spicy Holly Ma.
Oh, I like.
And she can squat more than you, and
I sure motherfucking can. And I
kidding.
just started wrestling.
She
in
doesn't
Muay Thai.
skip.
You're doing wrestling in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I wrestled in high school.
Yeah,
I was the only girl on the guys' team.
Surprisingly really good at it.
And if you make red pill content, you got a shot.
But do you have woodworking skills?
Huh?
Hard to follow.
I definitely do.
You can find me everywhere at the Katie Moore, _ Katie Moore.
Katie Moore.
Nice. Where are we gonna find you, Santana?
In the club.
Right? Plug the club.
So you can find me on Instagram at Spooky Hot Cheeto. All my links are there too. My name is Santana Garcia. Also, come see me at Crazy Horse. My name there is also Santana. And yes, that is my real name.
Nice.
I know someone who looks
Gorgeous,
like
gorgeous.
Crazy
By the way,
Horse,
she's a
too.
pole princess. She's probably one of the number one pole dancers I've ever seen.
Is
She's on a fucking
amazing
job.
on the
There's
pole.
no way she's better than you.
And that's hard coming from me,
There's
right?
no way
I'm
she's
like
better
the
than you. We saw her
OG
at the
have
fucking...
seen you.
princess
There's
of
no
Vegas.
way.
Yeah. Like, I'm like
this is what I want to see.
I mean, we both did the TV show together, and on
We
she
need
was
to
like
get-
the other like pole
We need
princess
to get pole
too.
dancing as an Olympic sport. We need to
This
talk to
girl
the
is
commission.
I agree. I agree. It is so hard to do.
I'm taking Spicy Halima to her first pole class on Tuesday with my coach. So
Nice.
Hey.
I'm excited. I want to come to your competition.
You can find me at QNAMY for my personal and for my business, Q Talent Agents on Instagram. I have a recruiting and a staffing firm.
Beautiful. She's a headhunter right there. Nice. Sarah, where can we find you?
Just on Instagram, Sarah _ Yuli. That's
Okay.
it.
Hey, can you guys talk about the thing that you're filming at CH3? Are you allowed to talk about that?
Girl, yo. She's crazy, by the way. She really spiced up that last episode.
Are we allowed to talk about it?
I don't think that we're allowed to talk about that one
allowed to talk
thing.
about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Or really anything at all, I don't think.
No.
Until it comes
So
out.
no gangbangs at Crazy Horse.
All you guys need to know is definitely keep a lookout for it on Paramount Plus. Definitely watch
Definitely
it.
going to be entertaining.
She's entertaining as fuck, as well as me.
It's real life. None of it's scripted. They might give us like some pretty cool scenarios, and then they just see how we roll with it. Like so.
And we fucking rolled with that shit. That's
Yeah,
that shit.
that
Nice.
And if kink.com or Pornhub, Cockbox, I own the rights to this now. So just saying, if you want to name it that, I got you.
Oh,
Kinks.com?
my eye. Oh, what is this all over me?
Just blink it out, baby. Blink it out. Blink. You got this. Blink it. There you go.
You need to make those.
Just blink it out.
You need to make
God,
those immediately.
so much.
Keep blinking. Keep blinking.
Somebody
It's okay.
Somebody give me eye drops.
It'll get better. I have some in the car.
Too many. Oh my God.
All right, one more thing.
This has been a fire show. Thank you guys for all attending. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Nice.
Another successful show.
Ladies, we got a comp table after this. Come with us to the club afterwards. And for those the rest of you guys, we're not going to tell you where we're going. We will see you guys in 2 weeks, probably June 8th. Is that we're going to do June 8th?
Right about that. And then we also have Hotep Jesus coming in on June 15th.
There we go. Hotep Jesus. We're going to ask about whether or not slavery actually happened. Stay by. Stay tuned, guys.
Also, Katie, yeah, what were you going to say?
Happy birthday, Tristan.
Happy birthday, Tristan.
Happy birthday.
There we go. All right, guys, go out there. Remember, if you're ugly, please use a condom.
All right.
I'm ready for bed.
I think you dropped the bomb.